Welcome to the untouchable empire. Unbothered, unfiltered, untouchable.
The content presented on the following show is intended for satirical and educational purposes only. The views, opinions, and statements expressed by panelists and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect those of the host, production team, or channel. Additionally, any third-party content featured in this program is used in compliance with fair use under United States copyright law, which allows for commentary, criticism, news report, teaching, and research. Viewer discretion is advised, and we encourage independent thought and discussion.
Welcome to the Coliseum. Relax, grab a beer, some snacks. Warfare Wednesdays with Fatty starts now.
friends, welcome to a special edition of the Team Fatty Show Warfare Wednesday. I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you guys are doing well. Friends, we are on vacation from the super panel and the ladies first, okay? We are on vacation, and I'm very sad. I'm so sad that we are not doing the shows this week. Oh my God, I cried all day.
Oh, man, bro, when you lie, just lie about a few things. That you ain't got to lie that hard, bro. Anyway.
Very, very sad, friends. Very, very sad, okay? Just a little bit of house cleaning. Tomorrow, I'm going to be on the White Channel. I'm going to do a collab with Nora and the New Party channel from 8 to 9, a little quick show. I'm still on vacation. Once again, I'm doing little things that don't make me go crazy so I can rest for a second, okay? Great announcement on Saturday, okay? There's no show on Friday. There's no show on Sunday. We have a show on Saturday, okay? Saturday, we have a return. The Battle of Sexes is back. The fellas versus the ladies. The Battle of Sexes is back. Team King Riches. The fellas are going to be led by King Riches. Team King Riches versus the Queen, Don Quisha. King Riches team versus Team Don Quisha on Saturday on the Battle of Sexes. The Battle of Sexes is back. We're going to bring out 4 fellas and 4 ladies, and they are going to do it out, okay? So the show is back Saturday at 5 p.m. Make sure you bring your popcorn. Other than that, friends, we need to focus on the show. We need to focus on the show. So let's start the show right about now.
All the comments would be fatty McFat, fat, fatty, 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 fat, fat. Oh, look how fat he is, right? Look at that fatty. You know, haha, big fun, stupid fatty. I bet he can't go up the stairs. And
the rules, very simple rules. 2-hour debate. 2-hour debate with the clock. First hour and a half, we are going to debate the topics that we got on the prompts. The last 30 minutes, I'm going to question the debaters, and all the super chats, $10 and up in any platform, are going to be used as questions so they can actually be challenged, okay? If you don't have money, but you have a camera and a microphone, after the 2 hours, we're going to open the debate. 1 hour, we're going to open the panel. The link is already in the description, so go ahead and click there if you want to join to challenge Mr. SHARON BRACEY and Mr. Fantastic. Okay, on the first 2 hours, we're going to try to get these two gentlemen some lunch and some dinner for tomorrow. So please, the cash apps are going to be rolling in the bottom, and they're going to be keep put on the chat. Please send them $5, $10, $20, little by little, so they can have something to eat tomorrow, because they are doing us a solid, okay? And these two men are always available, always ready for the good fight. So I would appreciate that y'all will take care of them too, okay? So without further ado, I think we're done. Let's play the intro and bring them up right about now.
Welcome to the Coliseum. Relax, grab a beer, some snacks. Warfare Wednesdays with Fatty starts now.
Spartans! What is your profession?
Ladies and gentlemen, the moment has arrived. The gates are open, the crowd is roaring, and the arena trembles with anticipation. Here, words are weapons, wit is armor, and only the sharpest minds will stand tall. Many will enter, few will endure.
So LB, I'm gonna ask you a question. Let's go to economics.
Easy. I'm still talking, boo. It's not as easy.
I am not your boo.
It used to be
LB.
before I let you have your time. I never interrupted your blob face looking ass for one second.
You know what? Your LBs, I'm gonna let you eat up the clock.
Anyways,
for a second.
It's necessary that
Go ahead.
women.
Eat. You like to eat since you want to say you just ate. Go ahead.
Now, if you guys could turn with me to your Bibles, okay? Ecclesiasticus, chapter 25 and verse 22. A woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger, impudence, and much reproach. Okay, this is in the Bible.
So when we start using the Bible and applying it to certain lifestyles, when do we stop it? You digging these girls down, Mr. Fantastic?
Yeah.
Oh God!
All right, let's do this.
What you talk about?
Let's do this, man. Let's do this. Do black people suffer from profiling from the police at an increased rate? Right? How does a cop know that I'm a Nigerian American when they pull me over?
When you start talking.
So exactly.
This thing that goes into my relationship, and you look at them from the outside, wouldn't be able to understand. You get what I'm saying?
But that's fair. Like, this is totally fair. But this, I am talking about power dynamics, right? I like what I've been trying to sell to these people, and I trying so the manosphere can actually wake up for the reality of things. That women have the power. They do, respectfully. You can't even tell a woman how to dress anymore. It's over.
Prepare yourselves for Warfare Wednesday.
It's time to do.
Gentlemen, I hope you guys are ready. Please tell everybody where they can find y'all before we start the shows, and let me put the names on too. Here we go, and let's go with that. Mr. Fantastic, how are you doing, sir?
Yo, what up, man? What's going on?
Thank you very much for being here. Can you tell real quick where people can find you?
Hey, man, everywhere, man. Mr. Fantastic 824, the BABG, big ass black guy, man, the OG, the one and only. You feel me? So all of my social media is the same tag, man. One word.
And ladies, if you're not 280, you win the lady, okay? Make sure you. SHARON BRACEY, welcome, sir. How are you doing?
Let's go. Good day, everyone. You know how to catch me. SHARON BRACEY, all platforms. Somehow, some way, you'll find me that way.
Thank you very much. I appreciate y'all, fellas. Any question before we close the cage? Y'all seasoned vets. Y'all being over and over again. Y'all good?
Yeah, we good. We solid.
Okay, so once again, friends, the cash apps are going to be rolled in the chat. Please make sure to take care of Mr. Fantastic and SHARON. The links are pinned in the title, in the description, everywhere. Make sure you follow both of them. And if you have smoke when the panel opens, jump in and give them the smoke. I don't think there's going to be a lot of courageous people today, but we will see, okay? So once again, support the cash apps, and then we will go from there. $10 and up if you have questions, okay? We're going to make little breaks and read super chats in the middle. I don't know if Red Lipstick is going to go live today, but if you go Red, let me know so I can redirect people to you, okay? So ladies and gentlemen, it's time to close the cage.
Please lock the cage doors at this time.
Get the fuck out. Simon says, get the fuck out.
Go. You're going nowhere. I got you for 3 minutes. 3 minutes of playtime.
Friends, don't forget to like the video, whatever you are. And we're going to start. We're going to start with the only topic that is not Dick and Pussy conversation. I hope that y'all ready. Kamala Harris would make a better president than Donald Trump.
It's time to do.
Sharon Bracey is on the affirmative, so I'm going to let him start this one. Mr. Fantastic will pick the next topic. Okay, go ahead, Sharon, and interrupt.
All right, so I believe Kamala would have made a better president because we elected the candidate who promised strength and peace. And under his presidency, America actually ended up in a prolonged war with Iran, right? Harris warned us, right? She warned us in a debate. She warned us that, and she warned voters that Trump's approach to foreign policy was reckless. So the burden isn't to necessarily prove Harris could guarantee peace. The Trump presidency gave us the outcome where we were supposed to be voting to avoid in the first place. So I would like to start there. And can you please explain to me, unless you want me to keep going down the list, we could go one by one, I guess. So that's the first one on there. What's up with this prolonged war? How did we get here? I thought we voted against the war. That's my main problem. That's the first problem I will have with her versus him. We wouldn't be in this Iran war.
You want me to answer? Okay, cool, great. So thanks to my opponent for allowing me to answer this question. And what I don't know if he's aware, we have to start back during the whole Ukraine situation, right, to make that comparison. So being that she wasn't commander in chief, but she was second in charge, and understanding that we don't know even how far it goes back to when the competency of the former president, began and ended. But the whole Ukraine situation played a big part of us to being in the Iran situation now, right? And as to why we may be so prolonged, because the stockpile of missiles was depleted, and the military budget was affected heavily by all of the funds that were suggested and requested by the Biden and Harris administration. Being that every president going back, I want to say all the way back to Senior Bush Senior, have been talking about, Iran and doing things with Iran and so on and so forth. Trump is just the first one to actually pull the trigger on it. And prolonged, you can't say it's prolonged, but again, we're still involved in the Ukraine situation, supporting and funding that thing. Or I'm sorry. Up until Trump got into office, finally stopped funding the whole Ukraine situation that's still going on, but we helped start and begin, right? Because they couldn't have done that without our help. And then furthermore, if we compare that to other conflicts, Vietnam, Afghanistan, Iraq, any of the other actually either conflicts of wars, we're not even a year in. So saying prolonged and not understanding the history of how long actual wars and conflicts have been, 10 plus years and such, it's kind of, you know what I mean? It's putting the cart before the horse and calling it too early. We haven't even hit a year yet. Yeah, but it's no end in sight. That's the real issue that we have with this whole Donald Trump. He has no plans of negotiation. Is no plan that Iran is opening it up or any of those things. And also, this whole war is causing a problem with the economy as well. What is up to 91.65 or something like that a barrel now? So this whole prolonged, the reason why it's called prolonged, because we have no exit plan. So you have to give me a certified exit plan that Donald Trump has to explain how it is not prolonged. Well, I can't give you a certified exit plan, but what I do know is there have been several times as to where a ceasefire was adhered to, and more than anything else, Iran reneged on the deal, or Israel got involved in some things in Iran, and Iran changed their mind. So you can't say that there's been no exit plan when there were peace agreements and there were actual deals as to when you actually had traffic that was allowed to go through, but Iran chose to change the deal. So you can't say that when there literally has been progress or there has been times of ceasefire and agreements upon peace. So that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? This is my wheelhouse, being former military, whatnot, what have you. So I won't say I'm intimately involved in this, but I'm experienced, right? I'm a subject matter expert here. So your framing is incorrect, because what you're saying is something that's not due to Trump, more so than it's due to the opposition. You can't agree to something and then renege on your agreement and keep going forward and so on and so forth. But you are not addressing the issue of that he said that this is going to be a day. He said, we're going to do this very quickly, very, very fast. I don't know who idea what quickly is, but 6 months is usually not
a idea quickly, and we have no. The problem is that we have no exit plan. One thing we do know is that she also said that his foreign policies will put us in this predicament, and that is what is being. That is the issue that we have. It. He is not making America safer with all these issues that he have going on. And you have to prove what's the end. What's the end state to this whole situation? What are we getting out of this situation? Because clearly we just spilling billions of dollars a day. It's not helping America at this moment at all, with no end in sight.
Yeah, so that's another thing too, right? So actually, I don't know if you're aware of this, oil was actually the highest during the Biden administration before this. So
The what?
oil,
Yeah,
during the Biden administration, it was
No, I
like
didn't hear you, I'm
122.
sorry.
The Biden administration, oil got this high also, and for longer periods, right? So it getting to this point because of the conflict is kind of, part and parcel. It comes with the game. But yeah, I've answered all of your questions. I mean, you may not like the answer, but I'm answering them straightforward and honestly and truthfully. Again, war, every president says this is going to be fast. That's what they're supposed to tell the public. A part of being in politics and being a president is easing the mind of the people, selling the people, right? All politicians lie, all of them, not just be they Republican, Democrat, Independent, whatever. Okay, local or federal, or national, right? All politicians lie. That's what they do to the people. So again, we're not even in this thing a year yet. So after we start getting to past a year, I guess we can use the lengthy aspect of it. But until we know what's going to go on and whatnot, what have you, I mean, it is what it is. Other presidents have done far worse.
We
voted
money. For this man not to. We voted for this man not to go to war. That's one of the things that he ran on. He said, "No new wars under Trump." That's what the man said. But Trump, he keeps jumping into people's countries, starting trouble. So that's the issue that we are really having. So I guess we kind of exhausted. We had a stalemate with that. You can't see no end in sight for him. I guess you think that is a good thing that we are over there at war with these guys, even though there's no end in sight. He is not showing that we are the big, powerful bad guys like how he tried to make it sound like, hey, we got end this in a day, then end in a day. They still doing the damn thing. That's my main issue I got. The man said we are voting for no wars, and he did the exact opposite. That's a problem. We need to hold him accountable for the things that he is not performing on. We voted for a certain thing, right? As American people, we voted for no wars. He did not deliver that.
Okay, well, I'll respond to that. I mean, I can't refute that if that's what something he actually voted for, no wars or whatever. But again, Bill Clinton received fellatio in the Oval Office. Richard Nixon, betrayed the federal government. I'm just saying. I mean, like I said, I'm just going back to my original premise of all politicians do things that they say they won't do or do things they shouldn't do, and starting the war, getting involved in the conflict or something is, I guess, kind of high on the list, but nowhere near as high as historical things that presidents have done, right? I mean, this war that we got into for, the reasons and so on and so forth, I think most people would still agree this is nothing as egregious as what President Bush did, Bush the second Bush, right, did for weapons of mass destruction. Going into war over false pretenses was led into over a decade of money, lives, and a whole bunch of other things. So again, once we start getting that territory, I think we can say it's similar. But until then, no. This is small fries upon presidential.
But that have nothing to do with what we voted for. That didn't have nothing to do with what we voted for this term. Whatever Bush did and other presidents before him did, we voted for him because he's supposed to be the best ever to do this damn thing. He is not. He's not delivering on any of the being better than former Democrats or Republicans.
Well, I mean, I guess that's subjective. It all depends on what you're comparing it to. If we go back to just the last presidency, he's still doing way greater. And we can just start, I mean, I know we're talking about the war, but we look at immigration and the negative effect that had on the economy and the nation as a whole. He's done great in that area. So, I mean, if you want to stick on the war, yeah, the war's still going on. We don't know if and when it's going to end. And like I say, we're not even a year in yet. So, it remains to be seen. But hey, like I said, it depends.
I mean, before we go to the immigration, if you want to present an argument now for the immigration, we can. I also want to talk about the black women employment situation that he kind of caused as well. I don't know which one you want to jump into first. I don't know.
We can go with unemployment if you want, brother. Please lay your case, please.
So I think I believe in the women's policy research analysis. The BLS data says I believe it says the employment black women fell by 250,000 between January and August or something of that nature. Please, somebody in the chat could fact check that.
It was 300,000. It was 300,000 at least minimum. You were right, correct. You're correct in the first time. More than being somewhere around 300,000 jobs. Yes, go ahead.
All right, and and some jobs did return. Around 100,000, I think, has returned altogether. But black women represent 14% of the female workforce, right, altogether. But I believe 54% of women job losses during this January to August period. That is atrocious, and that is under Donald Trump. So I think that he is in direct correlation to this whole situation where our women and 54% of job losses between January and August.
Okay, well, brother, you got to be, again, this is my wheelhouse also, because I do this content thing. So the thing that happened is, okay, this is all due to federal job employment, right? So there was a reduction in they don't call it a reduction in force, but it's a reduction in something for government workers. So the issue and problem was overrepresentation of black women in the federal government, right? So this doesn't just affect black women, it affected all federal workers, but we only cared about it because it was black women. And what they didn't tell you is that not only did those black women that were released, right, or quote unquote lost their jobs, they were giving more than hefty severance packages. And then all of those 300,000 jobs that were lost, guess what? They were regained back plus 30,000 extra jobs by the end of the year. That's the part that no one ever talks about. So everybody keeps harping on the 300,000 jobs that were lost through the federal government by reduction in force, right, or reduction in service or whatever. Right. But what they don't tell you, and I guess you're unaware of, but I'm now educating you, is that not only did black women retrieve all of those 300,000 jobs in the in the civilian workforce, they also were able to get a hefty severance package, months of pay, right, to resign, willfully resign and sign up to resign, and then an extra 30,000 black women got hired on top of that. Again, you can go check all these things. It's been verified. I've covered it at nauseum. So again, I'm not lying about it.
You misrepresented it. This is why earlier
I didn't misrepresent anything. I just gave you the numbers you didn't even know about. So I'm going to say it to you again. All 300,000 jobs. It is true. We can put a wager on that right now.
So we start with the 300,000, which I think is really average. I think it really actually came up to like $250,000. And that's between January and August, right? And about 100,000 was given back into the look it up. And
I've looked it up. I have covered this and I've looked at the numbers. I can pull up the thread that shows it.
The full 300,000.
Well, hold up. Give me a second. Let me pull it up.
I guess, yeah. So somebody please fact check us on that so we could both be corrected on that, whichever one it is. But also, you're not addressing that still 54% of job losses between January and August. You're not addressing that.
I did address it. You keep I'm telling you and you're ignoring it. So I'm gonna say it again. Listen to me.
Yeah.
The largest portion of those jobs that were lost were directly through federal government workers. Trump told you from the beginning they were shrinking the force. Okay. Black women overrepresent in federal government workers. So this is why their numbers seem to be so large with, again, white women lost more jobs and white men lost more jobs because but we only care because we're black people and everybody cries for black women. So I'm going to say it to you again. Those women resigned in most cases. They weren't just kicked out into the streets. They resigned. They agreed to more than fair severance packages. They were paid for months in advance to quit. Not only were they paid for months in advance to quit, they went into the civilian workforce from the government workforce. They went into the private sector. All of the jobs were recovered, plus 30,000. I'm pulling up the facts right here to show it.
So, but the issue is that, like, you're not really addressing the fact that they all was not. It's not going the way how you saying, right? Trump. We understand Trump didn't personally fire all those women, but the administration pursued policies that disproportionately expose Black women economically. Federal workforce cuts and the DEI make, that was a serious issue that felt like it was targeting towards a certain group of people. And the fact that Black women represent 14% of the workforce, but they also represent 54% of lost jobs, that is a ridiculous amount. We cannot just glance over that 54% of job loss.
That's impossible. That's impossible. That's literally impossible. If you can't make up 14% of the workforce and then do 54%, especially when we know for a fact that, again, there were more white. Let me finish. You let me.
Out of that 14% is what I'm saying. Out of that 14%, that 14%, 54% of those
that's impossible.
People.
Black women are the least, like, one of the smallest parts of the workforce. More white men and women lost their jobs also, not just Black women. You're only focusing on Black women. White men and white women workers also lost federal jobs. So that's not true. You're I'm not saying you're lying, but you're putting out disinformation right now.
But I'm not talking about that those women didn't lose their jobs. I'm strictly talking about how they disproportionately lost their jobs.
Still wasn't. It's mathematically impossible for it to be 54% of Black women. That's what I'm trying to tell you. If you have people for the same thing that lose more jobs, if white women lost more jobs than Black women, it's mathematically impossible for it to be 54% of the jobs lost being Black women. It don't make sense. It's mathematically impossible.
No, what I'm saying is that out of that 14%, let's just say out of that 14%, 100,000 of them have jobs. So that means 54% of that 100,000 lost their job, is what I'm saying. Even though they're a small population, they only 14%. So out of 100,000, they lost 60-something thousand people are out the workforce.
Yeah, but they got all those jobs back. Like I said, hold on.
And so Trump explicitly ordered the termination of federal DI programs and reversed several earlier diversity and equal opportunity executive actions. His administration also revoked the long-standing executive order, I believe, 246 of affirmative action. Like those requirements among federal contractors. That's not my characterization. Those are actions in Trump's own executive orders. Like, we have to address those things. Those things hurt us as a people. And we don't have to. You don't have to love the DEI to recognize that the economic consequence of shrinking federal employment, eliminating programs, and changing federal contractors. Those decisions affect actual workers, contractors, households, and communities. That's an issue that he did.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Sharon and Fantastic, do you guys have any more cases where Kamala will be clearly better or worse than Donald Trump, other than the wars and the jobs?
I think Harris actually had an economic agenda aimed at household costs. I think her proposal included expanded child tax credit up to $6,000 for newborns, the ACA subsidies, the housing assistance for qualifying first-time buyers, tax changes intended to encourage housing construction. Right, she had a broader campaign agenda. Also, she included increasing the startup expense deductions from $5,000 to $50,000.
Yeah,
those things will help the economy tremendously. So what I'm saying is that Harris, she had child care family tax relief, housing affordability, healthcare subsidies, and small business formations. All those things would have helped the economy ridiculously.
So no, again, it wouldn't have helped the economy tremendously. It's just be an extension of something that Trump had already done previously, right? The child tax credit, extended it, and I think increasing it during his tenure as president during 2016 to 2020. I think Biden kept a lot of those things going, and what she would have done was just continue something that Trump had already done.
So
and then furthermore,
we did have independent economic analysis, right? That explained that her economic plan, if everything was implemented the way how both parties said it was going to be, her plan is more effective to build the economy. Like that, you cannot argue that, especially where we at today. We got to argue his results. His results is not showing that the economy is better. You saying that his results are showing that the economy is better?
Well, no. So that comes into something a little different that people have to understand from an economic standpoint, right? So being that he's coming off of some of the worst spending and overspending ever behind Biden, and then he had to the point of where he had to do the thing to reduce government spending and actually reel it in with the whole Doge situation that everybody hated, but what revealed a whole bunch of wasteful government spending from local and foreign aid and things like that, which Biden was all for, right? And Democratic Party was all for. It's hard to say, like I said, this early, we're like just over a year into his presidency as to how well financial things are working. Also going up against other different things that the economy are going through, just from a natural cycle standpoint, from a resource standpoint, from commodity standpoint. So it's not just the things that Trump is doing. It's production. It is having to depend on China, having a reduction in wheat and in foreign things like natural gas and stuff like this. The whole, like you said, the Iran war and stuff like this is affecting it. Even though we did give ourselves a boost.
So you think Trump economy is better?
Well, no, I'm not saying that it's better. But it's not better. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. I just want to know, and how do you measure that? How do you measure that it'd be better that we are in the current situation that we are now versus what Kamala proposed? Like, how did you measure that? We got to compare wages, employment, inflation, housing, healthcare, household costs, instead of just saying, what is the comparison that we have compared if she was able to implement her strategy versus he is implementing his strategy, and his strategy is not better for us as families in America at this current state? How can you? Yes, please.
Well, yeah, I'll say it again. I don't know if you didn't hear me the first time. I think this has to do something much deeper than just government and just natural cycles of the economy. So if you understand, we go back to our adulthood, right? This a big part of it has to do with inflation overall. See, a lot of people don't understand. You know what fiat money is? Do you know what fiat money is, sir?
I'm listening.
I'm asking you. Can you yes or no? Do you know what fiat money is?
No,
you don't know what fiat money is? So fiat money is when you remove like a gold standard or a silver standard that's actual backing behind the currency, right? So being that American currency has lost, I think it's somewhere up to damn near 90% of its value from the onset, being that there's nothing behind it. And then you have a lot of government spending. You're able to print money, quantitative easing and things like this, so on and so forth. And inflation, you've lost the value of your dollar. So what people are actually feeling are inflation and devaluing of the dollar as much to far more than any type of government policy, and the cycles that go through these things because the economy wasn't allowed to naturally go through a cycle. So when the the recession that we know of hit in 2008, right? During that time period, instead of letting it go through its natural cycle and reset everything and raise the interest rate, what they did was they did this thing called QE, or quantitative easing, and they made the interest rates all the way down to zero, right? That hurt because it made it easier for the people, but it kicks the can down the road and it makes the people suffer to where we are now. Not to mention that even internationally, do you know what T-bills are?
What's that?
Treasury bills.
I don't understand how this answering how.
Well, I'm educating you. I'm educating you. So this
but you're not educating on how his economy today.
Well, that's what I'm trying to tell you. So what I'm telling the thing that you're calling his economy is not his economy. It's the economy overall and the cycles of the economy and the global. So Japan buys most of our treasuries. Japan is going through its own financial crisis. And being that Japan is going through its own financial crisis, and for the first time in forever, they're actually raising interest rates. That's another big part as to why it's hurting everything, because them raising interest rates when they've had like a zero interest rate for over 20 some years now, and them being the biggest buyers and biggest purchasers of our treasury bills, them having to sell them off, right? That affects us negatively also. So again, the economics go far beyond just local economic policy, and it's global cycles and a whole bunch of other things that people don't know about, so they just blame the president.
Yeah, like his tariff, like who actually pays the tariff. That this whole situation is he added to the core inflation with this whole tariff situation, and this whole idea of that you're not able to explain what Trump is doing to better the economy. Or you talking about things that happened before him. Fine, cool, but we talking about today. We're talking about today. What is he actually doing to represent a different direction of where the economy is going? And what he's doing with the tariffs, it added to the inflation. Kamala Harris' plan is completely different from his. Right, the child tax credit included $6,000 for newborns is different from his. Right, the enhanced ACA subsidies, housing construction initiative, and a 4-year $25,000 out of first-time home buyers credit is all a part of how that would have boosted the economy. It would have been more construction for personal housings. So you're not addressing the things that she would have implemented that would have boosted the economy, and not only that, is other institutes that did their own independent studies on about what she did agrees that his plan was not as robust as hers. So it ain't just me saying that, it was Goldman Sachs, and they was very critical of it, but still they said that Kamala plan was better than his. Goldman Sachs.
Yeah, well, you also have to take into consideration that it's also proven that not only the government, was played a hand in sabotaging the image of Trump and making things personal against Trump to, be in this thing or whatever. This, again, I don't know why you're making this face, brother. It's been proven. All those people that signed off and said that Trump had, the fake Russian collusion thing and all these things, and these people that lied, the people that hid the whole Hunter Biden story when it was true. Yeah, that's been proven, brother. So again, Goldman Sachs going against, the same, I don't want to say Goldman Sachs, but the same banking company that disbanked one of the members of the Trump family or something like that, right? Things like that, debanking and things like that. So we can't say anything that she would have done because she didn't win. And just like you're saying now that Trump said he was going to do this and he didn't do that. Who's to say that she would have got any of this stuff passed? Because it would all of her plans would have been dependent on mainly Republican Congress and Senate. You think the Republican would have worked with her and passed the bills that she wanted to pass? So even the things you're saying, you can't say that it would have did anything, because first and foremost, if it even gets to Congress and Senate, are they going to pass it? More likely not than likely, right? But then furthermore, she can just say she was going to do something and never did it. So it's all speculative.
Yeah, but the thing is that we see what he did. We've seen what he said and didn't do. And we see the things that he said and he didn't do, because he went against damn near everything he ran for. And he put us in this position that we are at today. So his economy is in the shit right now, right? Him putting us in war. We spending so much money. He adding to the deficit. Him putting billions of dollars every day. Billions of dollars every day. You gotta show that what he has done, his history record from January to August has been shitty. It's not just me saying that. His approval ratings at what, 30%? Maybe 35% to get to be nice.
Yeah, agreed.
It's because
So
he's not doing what he promised at all. He's not doing what he ran on at all. So I really believe that this man Trump would not be doing a better job according to his record today, with the economy, with the war, with this whole idea of America first. All those things was just lies.
Final thoughts on this topic, please. Sure. Go first, Fantastic.
I just finished. So go ahead,
Cool.
Fantastic.
Well, yeah, man. Like I said, hey, it's you know, if was a fifth, as they say, in the good old US of A, right? We will never know because Kamala Harris didn't win, and she didn't even. And that's another thing. The people didn't want her at all. Her disapproval rating was high up on the highest. Okay, the biggest landslide victory in I don't know how long. Okay, so even thinking that the people even want Kamala Harris to be president has been disproven because of the way she lost. Okay, she's never shown herself to be a competent leader in anything of serious note. When the president was out on whatever he was and he lost his mind, she didn't even step up in the place, and she couldn't even be honest with the American people and tell us that this man was pretty much a vegetable, okay, or invalid. Okay, it was an empty seat in the Oval Office for at least the last 9 months, if not more, of the presidency, and Kamala Harris lied to the people. So again, if you want to call Trump a liar, hey, I can't really fight that, but at the same time, this is the beginning. We're like a quarter through the presidency, just a little over a quarter through the presidency. Who knows what's going to happen in the next 3 years? Could get worse, could get better. So being that he still has a presidency to fulfill, right? It remains to be seen, right? But what we do know for sure is Kamala Harris was a part of a cabinet that wanted to do trans rights, you know, take your daughter's rights away and take all of their records and things from you know, schools. And you know, promoting all of this stuff that they didn't know what a woman was, you know, all of this confusion that we have now, thanks to the Biden administration, man. And Kamala Harris was lockstep in it, right? Not to mention, I don't know if you knew this, another fun fact. Had she been president, hey man, women might be out here selling vagina because she was pro sex work. Okay, she wanted to decriminalize sex work for sex workers. She wanted to be, and again, yeah, you laughing, but see, again, brother, I do this. I do this on the regular. I'm true to this, not new to this. So again, who knows what's the state of the government would be if every woman is out here trying to sell vagina because Kamala Harris said, hey, she's all for it. I'll land there.
Hey, listen, forget whether you personally like Kamala Harris, knowing everything you know today, knowing we are in a prolonged conflict with Iran, knowing what's happened to oil and gas prices, knowing what happened to the federal employment, and knowing what happened to Black women's employment. What specifically about Trump presidency makes America better off than an alternative, right? That you were warned about. Like the people that was on her side warned American people about what is going on, right? And you know, I don't know, that's just crazy. And that's why I'm not claiming certainty. I'm comparing probability against results. You can't prove Kamala would have done worse either, right? But I can show you Trump's actual results. And that's the difference between my hypothetical and Donald Trump's record. I end right there.
Friends, I'm going to stop the clock for a second to read a couple of super chats. There's 441 people in the building. Please like the video wherever you're watching. Please like the video wherever you're watching. I'll be making notes, friends, and I'm going to ask y'all a couple of questions on the last 30 minutes. You can ask them questions too by sending a $10 super chat on the last 30 minutes. We are going to read the questions. If you want smoke, when the clock is done, we open the panel.
The panel is now open.
The wait is over. The gates are open. All who seek the panel, enter now.
The link is in the description and is going to be put in the chat. Please, friends, make sure you support the content creators doing the show for us today. The cash apps are pinned at the top and rolling in the bottom. Okay, let's make sure we support Mr. Fantastic and Sharon BRACEY, and we send them a couple of cash apps. Okay, real quick, Dex, thank you very much for the jewels. Dex, appreciate you. Thank you very much, Red, for the jewels. Salute to you. Thank you very much, Mr. Hotshot, for the jewels. I appreciate you. Thank you very much, Bigger Than Your Ex, for the jewels. Thank you, friends. I appreciate y'all. Thank you very much again, team, for the jewels. I appreciate you. We have a $10 ball from Capri King. The conflict with this war is the one area I disagree with Trump on, but I still think he's a better president Kamala would be. Thank you very much. I appreciate you once again, friends. The rules: $10 super chats will be read during the show. 10 to ask debaters one question. Panel opens when the clock runs out, and the cash apps, of course, pinned at the top. Make sure you support the show. Zero Fallout. Many women are getting let go from tech as well. Too many of them don't do anything but get paid six figures. Thank you very much. We have Mr. Level Up, the DJ. Sharon needs to just say, okay, you're right, but the feminine nature in him will not allow him. Shout out to Mr. Fantastic. Sweeper. Appreciate it. Zero Fallout says, we were supposed to go in a decline back in 2016. Stimmy checks causing inflation is BS. The problem is they socialize the losses to the people and capitalize the gains for the rich. Appreciate you, Zero Fallout. Odd shots with the jewels. Thank you very much. I appreciate you, friend. And we have Mr. Bike Clifton Holly. Maybe. Sorry if I'm butchering your name. Yo, Mr. Fantastic, you really surprised me with your worldview. I knew you were smart, but not this well versed. And finally, Mr. 420 himself. Kamali is not even qualified for the president. Thank you very much, friends. We're going to go to the second topic. We agreed on the first topic by default. The second topic will be decided by one of y'all, okay? So this is what we're going to do. Fantastic. Heads or tails? You muted.
Tails.
Tails? Sharon Bracey wins the coin flip.
Brother.
Sharon?
Yeah.
Tell me, do you want me to go through the topics to see which one you want to bet, or you know which one you're going to pick?
We could go with the children getting their ass whooped. I want to hear this argument. Gentle parenting versus. I would love to hear this argument.
Okay, I would please ask y'all to be careful with the buzzwords, please. Okay, y'all professionals, y'all can talk about it without being very, 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 very explicit. So, the problem that Sharon is talking about is physical discipline is more effective than gentle parenting.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Mr. Fantastic, please. You have the affirmative. Go ahead and explain your point. You're muted again.
Shit. Jesus, my bad. So yeah, man. Listen, spare the rod, spoil the child is not just a American concept. It's something that is pre-existed way before American civilization has always existed, right? And again, I don't think people understand how humans work. Okay, there's only so many times you can tell someone to do something before there's punitive measures to make them do that. Okay, the way you get a child to not touch the burning stove is you finally let them touch the stove. Okay, the kid, as a kid, they see something, it's shiny, it's the eye on the stove is all it's red hot. So kids are drawn to shiny things and bright things and lights until they touch that stove, and they didn't touch the stove. The kid knows automatically. Pain is life's greatest teacher. Okay, and I think what the confusion is that people think that corporal punishment is always or has to be abuse. No. Okay. Giving the proper amount of pain for after repeated verbal warnings or corrections and so on and so forth. And again, like I say, humans don't understand humans, right? This is how you teach people early to respect boundaries, to follow rules, order, discipline, all those different things, so on and so forth. Now, again, I don't think it should be the first resort or the first choice of discipline. But if and when you have explained to a child more than one time that, hey, don't do this or you should not do this, and they do it, they leave you no other recourse. And I think we can look at the degradation of society with the general parenting mindset of how you have these children being so unruly and being most importantly disrespectful to adults. I mean, Sharon is about my age. We're the same age, and I know he knows the level of disrespect that children give to adults nowadays would never be tolerated. Why? Because any adult, for the most part, could correct a child physically if need be. See, again, me and Sharon the same age. We allowed paddling, okay, when we were in schools, okay, to the point of where the same process worked. So a process, and then during those times, grades were better, suspensions were lower. You had a better overall product just in the education system alone, not to mention at home, when we look at corporal punishment being the standard. So, and of course, even then, you didn't just get paddled anytime you did something wrong. It was an escalation. So I'm in complete and total proven agreement about how impactful and how effective corporal punishment, again, within reason and not abuse of children, can be for society.
The problem is that is not true, right? It's studies showing that whooping your child ass, just corporal punishment, not abuse. We all, you both understand we are talking about just spankings, not whereas to the extreme. It shows that it lowers your children's IQ. It also teaches your kids. It doesn't teach your kids law and order. Majority of the people that are in jail, they got beatings and those and that type of nature. It didn't stop them from fighting in the street. It didn't stop them from disrespecting the people that wanted to disrespect. They disrespected elders, and they continue to be the people that was in our community, destroying our community because they didn't give a damn about a beating. What we need to teach our children is how to have conflict resolution, not to do things physically. Because if you are telling your kid stop, 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 and then slap, then your kid is also going to learn that when they go outside, they're going to tell somebody stop, 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 slap. And that's going to put their ass in jail. That's not law and order. That is not figuring out a way how to communicate the situation effectively. We got to get our children to understand, like, this is the whole reason why they had a issue with Carmelo, right? He didn't do no conflict resolution. He said, stop, leave me alone, stop, leave me alone, and then it got physical. Yes, it's a little bit more extreme. However, still, in fact, it went from stop, stop, slap. And that's what you're opposing, that we keep teaching our children to stop, 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 slap. And that is not conflict resolution at all. What we need to teach our kids is how to move, walk away, get themselves out of situations, think themselves through it. No child actually, majority of children never have to touch the stove at all. Most people never have to touch the stove. So this whole idea that you got to touch the stove to know that it's hot is BS, because most children do not touch the stove to know that it's hot. We could recognize the heat way before we touch it. The kids that actually got to touch the stove, they got some other issues going on. There's other issues that normal children do not have. So even that premise of allowing the child to touch a hot stove to burn itself, now you have to go to the emergency room, is ridiculous. We got to get our children to think better, because once they think better and express themselves, they will not express themselves with their hands. And if they're able to express themselves, that will push out and produce more productive human beings in society. It makes your kids stupid by hitting them.
Yeah, no, there's I would have to see that research that says, corporal punishment among children makes them less intelligent, especially when we know the IQs are lower now. And that's also been a study that's been recently put. So being that we're in the era of, am I freezing? Can you hear me?
I can see you fine. I'm not sure.
I'm freezing.
Oh, you starting to slow down?
Like I'm freezing on my end, but you can hear me. It's cool. Either way, right?
I can hear you really well. Yes.
So, being that we know that there are tests coming out right now talking about how low that the IQs are in the peak of gentle parenting and no corporal punishment, that right there defeats your logic, right? So you can't say you're making the children less intelligent through corporal punishment when again, no, that's just not the case, bro.
No, so the problem is
let
that
me
you.
just real quick, let me address this. I don't know
Yeah.
how we even got the Carmelo situation into this, where Carmelo was the person that murdered someone or deleted a person. I don't think deletion and corporal punishment are anywhere within the same realm, brother. And a person being unreasonable to the point of where they take someone's life over touching them is not due to corporal punishment, but just simply bad behavior. Very, very poor behavior in decision making, and a horrible person. So yeah, I'll land there.
Yeah, so belt, knife, whatever the case is, right? Is stop, and then is swing is what I'm trying to compare to. And the problem that you are having is that you are comparing corporal punishment to something that has no factor into the low IQ in today's society. It's other factors that is the reason why these so-called, even though I don't know about it, but these so-called low IQ factors that you are talking about. It don't have nothing to do with corporal punishment at all, or gentle parenting. That is a completely different argument. These children are more into technology, which is not allowing them to think properly. They're not able to problem solve. They have AI to help them do their homework. They don't need to research things. It doesn't actually have anything to do with that. Those two things do not correlate at all. But we do understand if we say we have an issue with degeneracy and fighting in communities, beating your children does not change that. We know that for a fact because, as you said, we came up in an era where getting slapped and getting corrected physically was a thing. If you say damn, you get popped in the mouth. We heard stories of if you ask for certain things inside of a grocery store, you might get popped in the mouth. And it didn't stop these people from going to jail. We have more people now and we have less crime. And according to you, I believe that you're saying that it's more gentle parenting going on today than it did back in our day. So if we're going by crime statistics, then gentle parenting is working way better than any kind of stop, slap. It was way more aggressive when we was younger from what we understand. There's less people going to jail.
Yeah, less people going to jail because of rollback of different laws and enforcement and things like the stopping of stop and frisk. Just as an example, a lot of the 94 crime bills, the crack to cocaine disparity changes, even though it's still a disparity, is nowhere near as close or whatever. And a step down from quote unquote the war on drugs. So there are a lot of mitigating factors to why we have a lower crime numbers, right? And along with the increase, the significant increase in population, right? So significant increase in population, more people, way more people, and then softer on crime look as what it was back to when we were kids in the 90s. So again, I don't think there's a correlation there where you can try and say, okay, well, the criminal thing being down low, and then you just jump from the IQ aspect. So the kids are dumber, right, from it, but they're also more violent, and they're not willing, because I know for me, most of the people I know they got whoopings, right? And then too, let's even talk about that. So the crime, I think, do you know what percentage of people are like criminals? What percentage of the population criminals make up?
Maybe 2 to 3%, 5%.
Exactly, around 2 to 3%, right? So what about the other 97%? Let's just say 95. Let's boost it to, so what about the other 95% of people that were corporally punished, right? Out of that 95%, and they're not criminals. So that defeats your argument there too. So using the worst, and this is a very, very niche situation, and using criminals where you say most of the people that are in jail or in prison, they were corporally punished. Well, that's 1% of the total population. And we know that the other 90+% of people also receive corporal punishment, but they're outstanding citizens. See how that falls apart?
No, I don't. So the issue is that what you're teaching when you do corporal punishment, you teaching your children to resolve conflict physically. And we don't want our children to be out in the street doing things physically. We don't want them fighting and putting their hands on other human beings, because we know a lot of people, they do things and they never get caught. We know they physically doing things. They are doing a whole bunch of criminal activity without actually being criminal. So the other 95%, just to round it up, that doesn't mean that they are outstanding citizens by a stretch. That's just not true. And we are talking about the ones that are damaged. It's been proven scientifically, at least by some doctors, they say that every time you slap them, you're slapping out an IQ. you slap an IQ out your damn children. But what we need to teach our children is because they learn through us. So if we are putting our hands on our children, we are teaching our children that the way how you conflict resolve things is by physically putting your hands on another human being. And that is not the correct way to raise a growing adult. We do not want them to be putting hands on human beings.
Yeah, and then when does that stop? When does putting your hands on human beings stop? Yeah. So again, that's something that naturally occurs between humans. Again, like I said, I'm gonna say this again. I'm gonna keep saying this, right? Humans don't understand humans. So eventually, you don't have to teach a child to hit. A child just normally and naturally hits because it understands physical force and violence gets you the things you want. So you can never ever hit a child yourself, and a child will hit. This is why we have to give children training not to hit. It's actually a natural response, right? Protective or asserting dominance. Again, humans are animals, right? And that's in all animals, we assert dominance through physicality, right? Some kids hit, some kids bite even, right? And those are kids that have never been hit themselves. So that's the first lesson on the whole hitting part. You can never ever hit a child, and that child will naturally understand how to hit other people because it's trying to establish dominance against something that it wants. Secondly, again, your original argument falls apart because just like there's research that's very, very limited research on IQ being reduced from corporal punishment, there's extensive research about corporal punishment having absolutely no effect on cognitive development or IQ, right? So again, it's pretty much you can find research on whatever you want to from a narrative standpoint. But again, like I said, we have history to rely on and just, human beings existing, because one of the most important parts of corporal punishment is me setting boundaries and me giving you a respect for authority with love that you won't get out in the world. So if I'm telling you to stop doing something here as your parent, right, or your guardian or whoever the person that's responsible for you, and you don't listen to me and I correct you through mild, corporal punishment, that's going to be way more, it's going to be way more productive and safe than a random stranger to where you won't listen to someone telling you to stop. And then, like you say, you get stabbed, shot, or killed, right? So again, corporal punishment serves a very, very important level and understanding of respect within, from people that love you and care about you.
Yeah, I don't think you somebody that's putting their hands on me love and care about me. Absolutely not. That is not the way how you show any kind of goddamn love, by whooping my ass. It doesn't work in a grown folks. So I don't understand how that's going to work in a kid that is learning through you. If you are learning something through me, if I know as a grown person, I would not put my hands on a grown person and say, the reason why I'm whooping your ass is because I love you. It's never the sense. Usually when you are physically disciplining somebody, it's because you're angry. It's out of anger. It ain't out of love. You ain't whooping your child ass out of no goddamn love. You whooping your child ass because you angered, you frustrated, and you don't know what else to do, and you are at your wit's end. So you physically put fear into your child, which is never a good thing. You want your child to be able to express themselves and communicate back and forth and learn how to use their words to get in and out of conflict. If you want them to learn how to fight or something like that, you put their ass in boxing, karate, or something of that nature, where it's a controlled environment. Not putting your hands on kids and teaching them that you gotta enact fear in them. I don't want my child to be in fear of me whooping their ass. I want them to be in fear of my judgment and my disappointment in them, so they could think things through, not because I physically did something. Because if I physically do something, that's not them actually learning anything. All that is a fear. And then eventually when you do not matter anymore physically, they're gonna go do whatever the hell they want anyway.
Let's get final thoughts on this one, okay, friends? 3 minutes.
That's my.
Yeah, so I guess I'll get the final thoughts. So yeah, the problem with that is, again, man, fear is another built-in thing. Fear is a level of safety, right? It's a safety relief valve. So you establishing fear within a healthy realm, again, and you can absolutely love your children to death. I love my kids, and I whooped all my kids, love them to death. Will kill and die for them if and when
allegedly.
All right. You know what I'm saying? So you can definitely do it because it's been done throughout the annals of time. So understanding, again, I'm going to impose physical punishment on you when absolutely necessary to let you know that these things are not acceptable. Okay. Without fear, this is how the easier way that people get killed, right? Or people lose their lives. You know what I'm saying? A lack of fear will have you walk up to a strange dog and pet it. A lack of fear will have you go up to a stranger and talk recklessly. Okay. A part of, again, all these things are within a structure of understanding danger, understanding hierarchy, understanding dominance, understanding all these concepts that are human concepts, and doing it with a controlled environment of a lovely home and a loving person, parent, more likely than not, is essential for human development and for a better society.
Yeah, I disagree. I think all those things that you described is more of a mental thing than fear. So they got to have self-awareness and know the consequences of the action. It don't actually have nothing to do with me knowing somebody's going to physically punch me to walk up to a stranger. No, that's me understanding what conflict is. Walking up to a dog, that's me having the intelligence to know that I don't know how this dog is going to react because it's a stranger to me. None of that have to do with being fearful of being in fear, because I'm not in fear of dogs, but I know not to go to a strange dog because of my intelligence, not because I'm fearful of the dog. Every day I walk past a dog and the dog will walk next to me and sniff me. I'm not in fear of that dog just because it's a stranger. No, I could see the self-awareness clues of if this dog is a dangerous dog or not, right? By its demeanor, by its tail, by how it's approaching me. If it's showing its teeth, there's a lot of context clues coming up to before I'm in front of a damn dog or a human being. I understand the context clues of we are about to be in a conflict. If this person is sane or insane, how this person is dressed, will they smell? So all those things that you're saying, it don't have nothing to do with physical discipline at all, but it has to do with self-awareness and understanding your surroundings in the first place, in my opinion. And that's why you shouldn't knock the IQ out of your children. You need to learn how to communicate with your children so they could be self-aware of their surroundings and take themselves out of dangerous situations as much as possible by their assessment.
Friends, let's close this out for a second. Please check your cash apps. If y'all don't have a lot of them, I'm going to make some pressure on these people, these 400 people watching. Any cash apps on your side?
Absolutely not. They need to get it together.
What about you, Mr. Fantastic?
Nah.
Friends, I'll repeat it again. These people are here giving you a show for free. This is not Netflix. This is not the UFC pay-per-view. There's 432 people watching. Please support their cash apps. Let's get them a lunch, man. At least a lunch for tomorrow. Mr. Fantastic, 824. Sharon BRACEY, 81. Please, let's make sure on the next stop, when I stop the clock, they at least have some lunch money. They are doing a great job today. Okay, before I go to the next topic, let me go ahead and read a couple of super chats. Carl Anderson, federal jobs cuts don't seem to be doing much to reduce the deficit. ICE and border additions more than fill the cuts from Doge. Soon we'll be paying $1 trillion in annual deficit interest in payments. Thank you so much, Carl. I appreciate you. We have Capri King with a $20 vault. Gentle parenting isn't better, but the harder you try to keep a child from hot stoves, the more they want to touch it. Physical parenting works early on, but when the child grows up, ends off is better. Thank you very much, sir. We have Mr. Zagu in the building. It says, how we know Carmelo got whooping.
The untouchable empire, baby.
Thank you very much. We have Mr. 420 himself. Already using extremes, shaking my head. Sharon, how do you compare the Carmelo situation to parental punishment? Okay, we have 10 to go. Mr. Diesel in the building. It says Sharon, juvenile crimes has risen 150% in North Carolina when they raised the juvenile age from 15 to 17 in 2021. Thank you very much, Diesel. Long time no see. We have the BTS show in the building with $20 balls saying physical discipline isn't the problem. Verbal discipline can cause more or less in harm. Call your child the band and see how long the healing process is. The real issue, parents transferring their energy, anger onto their kids. Thank you very much, Chris. And we have the lovely talks with some Jules. We appreciate you, talks. We have Mr. 420 himself. You're making an argument for an exception that doesn't make the rule, Sharon. Your argument is in bad faith. There are more 5 to go. HQ says less than 1% of black people in any year commit crime. We have Mr. Noir Rice 302. Please drop Mr. Sharon and have a conversation with Mr. Fantastic and Mr. Fatty, please. And thank you. Always going to drop a debater. That's crazy. Uncle Rick in the building. He says Untouchables. Fatty, what up?
The untouchable empire, baby.
Appreciate you. We have 3 more to go. Mr. 420 himself. Wrong again, Sharon. Most parents use it for discipline, structure, authority, and balance to keep the fear or respect, to know that what they did wrong won't be tolerated. Okay, we have Kareem Maki with Super and Brother Numsy with another Super. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate you. Just to make sure we do a little bit of housekeeping, friends. On Sunday, we are going to have a star-studded panel. We're going to go back to the battle of sexes. Okay, Team Donquisha in the building. Jazz is going to be on the roster. Carmaya going to be on the roster when we have a couple of additions. And Miss Team King Rich is going to be on the roster. Mr. Uncle Rick will be on the roster. Cheeky is back, and the infamous Mont will be on the roster too. The Battle of Sexes is back Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern. Remember, ladies first, and the super panel, we are on vacation, so we are not going to do the show on Friday and Sunday. We come back on the 31st. Other than that, I think we are good. Mr. Fantastic, which topic do you want to go next? You want me to tell you which ones are on the box, or you know?
Tell me.
Western men are justified in seeking traditional foreign partners abroad to the decline of dating culture at home. Sharon gentle, agreeable approach causes more long-term damage to male-female dynamics than Mr. Fantastic red pill assertiveness. And the last one, the rise of male isolation is primarily caused by unrealistic modern female standards rather than men failing to adapt.
Let's go with the gentle, agreeable approach causes more long-term damage.
I was hoping this would be the last one. God damn it. Fantastic.
We can move it to last. I
actually want to hear this one. This one, to me, I think it was the perfect one. I actually want to hear from the...
It's time to do.
And once again, friends, make sure you support our friends' Cash App so they can have lunch money for tomorrow. We try to get our goals when we open the panel. In 1 hour, any challenger can pull up and give them some smoke. This is not a panel for y'all to chill. This is a panel to give smoke, and then we out, okay? We have 1 hour, and one of y'all have as echo on the back a little bit. I think it's you, Fantastic, on the back. We have a little bit of feedback. So I'm going to repeat this prompt because this prompt is very interesting. Sharon's gentle, agreeable approach causes more long-term damage to male-female dynamics than Mr. Fantastic red pill assertiveness.
It's time to do.
Sharon, you can go first. Since I think it was Mr. Fantastic went first on the last one, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sharon. You go first. Why is Mr. Fantastic rhetoric more dangerous than Sharon Bracey? Go ahead, Sharon.
Is it because it doesn't allow the nuances of the human being in front of you. You have to be. You cannot just tell your woman and demand to do things in an unrealistic way. When you are dealing with human beings, it has to be a back and forth. You got to have respect there. And once you have respect for another individual, especially somebody that you claim that you love, this is the love of your life. The woman that sleeps next to you, the woman that cooks your food, the one that could stab you in your sleep. You need to speak to her with some kind of love and respect. So this way it could move out through your relationship, because anything that you throw at her, you got to also pay attention that it is something always in between y'all. That's the relationship. Is you, the relationship, then her. So you cannot go around the relationship to attack her and think that that's not going to affect the relationship. So have an understanding of your partner and discuss the things that you are having issues with is a much better outcome than you just berating her and putting her down inside of a relationship by just saying, hey, you don't look nice in that dress, to oppose you look fat, you need to go lose some weight. People don't respond kindly into those things, especially coming from their mate. When it's coming from their mate, it got to be communicated with love. You got to actually show that you have love for that person and that you have the best interest in heart for that person. Not that, oh, I'm just a walking talking point. I don't give a damn who you are actually. And just shut up, feed me, and F me should not be the rule that you are trying to communicate with the person that you love as a partner.
Well, I guess Sharon jumped straight to the relationship aspect, and he completely, totally, skipped the whole, developing the relationship aspect, and that's where a lot of the disconnect happens. See, Sharon likes to pander to women and tell women that it's the men's fault, and then the men need to do this and the men need to do that, and the women are just these perfect angels that just should just show up and be taken care of and be worshipped and be, adored and all these different things. Again, the issue and the problem here starts with men not understanding women. Okay. And women not caring about men. And I said that, I'm going to say it again. Men not understanding women and women not caring about men. Women want what they want from whatever man they can get it from. And they're willing to use men to get what they want and actually deal with the men that they want at the behest, or at the loss of the men they actually don't want, but they're just used to get and used for utility. So the whole thing that Sharon is talking about, again, he's talking about understanding and communication. The only communication women want is money and sex. Okay. They want money from the men they don't actually want, and they want sex from the men that they do want. So again, it all revolves and comes down to, okay, sex and money. I know people think it's far more complex than what it is, but no. And if it's not necessarily money, some sort of resource. Hey, not every guy has money, but some guys, he got a car. He can give her a ride. Some guys know how to fix stuff. He can fix stuff around the house if she needs it. Some guys are just emotional support. He can be her free therapist, okay? While she's riding the guy, okay? And letting that guy use all of her holes, the Holy Trinity, okay? At his and her behest. So, yeah, the problem with Sharon's rhetoric is, again, he's jumping all the way to the whole relationship aspect when he doesn't understand how difficult it is for a lot of men to even establish relationships out here due to women's unrealistic expectations, requiring things of men that they themselves have never and will never accomplish, and quite frankly don't deserve. Okay, if you're a woman that's a 2, you don't deserve a man. You can't demand a man or even request a man that's a 7 or better. Okay, if you're a woman that lives off of government assistance, how dare you tell a man he needs 6 figures to talk to you? You need to date at your level, date and mate at your level. But that's even another thing. We get into the mating. these women are the worst vagina managers of all time. The worst. Okay. If we want to talk about black women, the majority of black women with children have children with multiple men. So again, man, this telling women what they want to hear and not what they need to hear, first and foremost. But the most important part of this is I'm not even talking to women as much as I'm talking about women to men. And that's another big, huge misconception of Sharon's, I guess, rhetoric and all these different things. Is, I don't listen. The only woman I'm talking to is a woman or women I'm dealing with at the time. And none of these things, for the most part, I have to say, because they like me for me. So I don't have to make demands about this and that. And you need to be submissive. And I want this and I don't have to do any of those things because, hey, mouth and legs around here, man. We get to the bottom of that pussy.
Yeah, you didn't address anything. The issue the issue is that you are soft talking to those people that you are not in relationships with. You ain't being all aggressive and saying feed me, F me, and shut the F up. You sweet talking those ladies. You're having a good time with those ladies. You hanging out, even if you're not spending money, you Netflix and chilling with those ladies. You entertaining those ladies. So even when you're not in a relationship, if we want to go before, because I'm talking about communicating, whatever you communicate, you communicating that we are just for a fun time, that is still communication. That is not in an aggressive tone. Right. So you are agreeing with me by saying that, hey, I'm going to wine and dine her, even if it's on a free dime as Netflix and chilling. I'm going to bring the drinks. You got the comfortability of my house. We're going to set the tone, dim the lights. You are gentle with that woman. You are not saying, hey, when you come over here, open up your mouth and legs and all your holes to me because you just like me. That's not what you're doing. You are slow rolling that thing. And if she doesn't entertain that physical factor, and then y'all just go your separate ways in a nice way. Hey, baby, this is not working. However you communicate, it sounds like that's what you said. Hey, baby, this is not working out because I'm into that, what you said, the bottom of that pussy, whatever. But at the end of the day, you are doing it in a very gentle and loving way. You are taking your time with that woman. You putting on cologne, you getting dressed up, you going to get your hair did, you getting your hair twisted up. So you are not this tough and rough guy that you are trying to claim that you are talking about. No, you a sweetheart. And you need to stop acting like you some goddamn tough guy just because you are able to, I guess, have sex with multiple women or something like that. You're not in a committed relationship. So I guess that's what makes you feel like you are some aggressive red pill person. But no, you're a sweetheart, actually.
So you're saying
you don't care if your girl goes outside and be with another man. You like, hey, I'm gonna do me and get her, baby. You do you. As long as when you are doing me, it's just me and you. That is, to me, that is more gentle to what I'm actually doing. I think I'm probably the aggressive one because my lady can't go outside.
Yeah, that's not my girl. I don't have that rule for my girl.
Absolutely not.
You're calling
me my girl would never have that premise.
He's a sweetheart.
So you're calling him fake?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, great. So yeah, first and foremost, my girl would never ever play by the rules. I don't have a girl, right? I have, like, as you said, women that agree to my terms and deal with me on the terms we agree to. Secondly, brother, I don't have the strong arm, no pussy. I ain't no mystical around here. Ain't no, I came in with my dick in my hand, pussy crook. None of that, brother. Listen, I am smooth by nature. Okay, I am smooth by nature, brother. Again, just my presence alone is enough. To where I don't have to demand anything. These women willingly swallow me up. No TD Jakes. You feel me? So again, and
they also swallowing other people up as well too. After they leave you,
my chart.
So you are the actual gentle one. You know what I'm being gentle.
I didn't cut y'all, brother. I didn't cut y'all. So first of all, brother, the game is the game, brother. We understand the game is a game. Again, she doesn't belong to me. She don't belong to me. What she does when she's not around me is not my business. Not my business, not my concern. As long as we trade that my chart and we see that paperwork and I'm good, she's good, and ain't nothing getting spread other than bodily fluids, brother, I'm good. It's not, she don't belong to me, brother. She's just mine for the moment when she's around me.
Exactly is what I'm saying. So you are not aggressive at all. You allow your woman to do whatever whatever kind of relationship that you have. You allow her to do whatever she wants when she's not in your presence at all. So you have no control over that woman. You are the actual gentle one. You like, hey baby, and you want to soft talk her. You want to be sweethearts. You want to give her massages, rub on that feet. As long as you get the bottom of that pussy at the time that you are with her, you are okay with whatever she do outside of you. That's actually being gentle.
No, that's not being gentle, brother. That's
you are
again,
boyfriend in the meantime, but you are nobody to her in real life. So she gets to do what she wants outside. And she gets to do what she wants with you, because you have this idea that, oh, I'm being I don't know what's the word that you use. But you feel like it's a fair exchange, I guess, whatever it is. But you yourself admit that you are a smooth talker. You are not this aggressive situation that you are portraying yourself to be. You are pandering to men to make it seem like as if you being a sweetheart behind closed doors with all these ladies buying drinks and doing everything, even if you're not spending tons of money, right? We're not talking about the money aspect of $300, right? We're just talking about you entertaining them, whining, dining, and making them feel comfortable.
So that's the problem, though. Again, so yeah. No, brother, I don't have to buy. I don't buy women drinks. That's a thing of mine. I don't buy a woman, and I don't do anything for a woman to talk to me. That's actually a rule of mine. I never do. So and again, I'm not a gorilla pimp either. So I don't walk up on a woman and demand that she does whatever, so on and so on. I understand natural and actual desire. So women do nice things for me without me requesting or asking or demanding or doing any of those things. I have women that cook for me. I have women that fucking pay for trips out of the country for me. You know what I'm saying? I have women that do things for me that cost a little bit of money, right? The stuff I talk about, I don't have those problems, right? So this, and then it's the false framing, or I guess the inaccurate assessment of quote unquote red pill just being aggressive. No, red pill is pretty much understanding, right? Understanding and knowledge.
Maybe you misunderstood things
the what prompt. They actually are. Go ahead.
Maybe you misunderstood the prompt. Can you read the prompt again?
I'll read it. I'll read it for y'all, right? Sharon's gentle and agreeable approach causes more long-term damage to male-female dynamics than Mr. Fantastic red pill assertiveness.
Assertiveness. So therefore, me accepting. So a man that is accepting a woman to do whatever she want to do, suck and open her legs up to other men outside of me. Is that being agreeable? Or that's a man that's certain say, hey, no, you are only for me. Which one is more agreeable? You as a man say, hey, when you with me, you with me. And when you outside, you be with him. Which one is more agreeable?
What makes you think that, though? What makes you think that's another misconception?
Because you're agreeing.
Well, no. So why do you think that she's dealing with more than one person than me at the same time?
Because you said you don't care if she does. You said
just because I don't care means she is actually taking advantage.
But she can do it, right?
She can, yeah, she can. But again,
so therefore you're agreeing with the terms that she. So what I'm saying that you're agreeing with the terms that if she wants to, she could go do whatever she wants outside of you, and then also when she comes home to you, she's with you. So you get to pop off and do everything that you want to do with her. And also when she's outside of you, you agree with her and say, hey, if you want to, you could go ahead and do that with somebody else as well.
She doesn't belong to me. That would make sense. That's not mine.
But you are agreeing to that, correct?
It's not an agreement. It's an understanding, and it's reality. Hell,
right,
some married people.
So, okay,
now,
you have
hold
an understanding.
So let's go on that route.
Change the word. If you want to change the word, that is fair. However, you have
let's go that route. You got to give me a chance to explain. So what's the difference between me, where I'm willingly and knowingly open? I don't have any dedication to anyone. I'm not in a relationship. I don't have any commitment, right? Now, again, like you said, I only deal with this woman when I deal with her, when I see her, so on and so forth. Let's just say by chance she is dealing with other men when she's not around me. Cool, fine. Great, right? So who's getting the better deal? Me, to where the only time I'm dealing with this woman, and every time I'm dealing with this woman for the most part, I'm getting sex out of the deal, right? Because this is our understanding, right? And or the man that's committed or married, and he's doing all the things, and the bitch cheating on him anyway. So who's winning?
She's definitely losing in that fact about being with a man that doesn't care about her, right? So she would be losing in that scenario.
Talk about the man. I know. Let's talk about the man, though. Let's talk about the man. I asked about me. I asked about her. I said me. I'm talking me and the man. So I'm gonna ask you again. So who's winning between me and the married man or the committed relationship man that's paying for this woman somewhere to stay, that's paying for her upkeep, that's doing everything she wants him to do, all his requirements, and she's out here maybe, fucking and sucking a nigga like me. Who's winning?
Right, and I understand that argument, but we acting as if that's the majority of women that are dealing in those type of relationships. Well, we know that's not the case. Majority of men cannot do that. That's number one, right? So most men cannot provide that situation.
Ron,
that's
can you
number
answer
one.
the question before you go on the monologue, please?
Answer the question.
Like that, if that man doesn't know, he doesn't know what he knows.
Yeah, but can you answer the question? Who wins between both of them? Who is winning?
The husband is still winning if he doesn't know because she's still doing all the things that he thinks that she's supposed to be doing.
No, he's losing because
because I cannot assess what that husband doesn't know. He doesn't know. So he said, "Hey, babe, I want you to cook for me. I want you to spend a night. You stay at home every day."
He's being deceived.
That he wants his woman to do. As far as we understand, that husband knows that she is doing.
No,
that.
he doesn't. No, he's being deceived. He's being deceived.
No, for what he understands. I'm saying from his understanding.
So again, that's the problem, though. He still has a lack of understanding. My understanding is full, right? So this is the difference. This is why I say I'm fully aware of the situation and the whole scenario. She's not mine. I'm not hers. If and when she's not around me, if she chooses to deal with someone, I accept it. She accepts it. Okay. Him, on the other hand, hold on. Let's walk this down fully. Him, on the understand, he thinks that this is his woman, his and his woman only. That he's only one dealing with, he's only one having sex with. Lo and behold, she's out here sucking and dudes like me.
Right.
Now, so let's ask this again. Who's winning in this situation?
The husband is winning still. So
that's crazy.
The issue is that you are in a relationship where you and the other person both willingly know that y'all doing this, right? That's the conversation that we actually having, right?
Agreed upon.
You single. And most likely the other young lady is single, most likely, right? That's the conversation that we have in about.
More likely than not, but some of them might be in a relationship. They might, might be.
Okay. For majority says we talking about two single individuals. You get to do whatever you want with when you not with her, and she get to do with whatever she want when she's not with you. That's your understanding with her. When she's not with you, she's able to be whatever she wants to be and do whatever she wants to do. That is actually agreeing to something. The husband is not agreeing to her going to be with so-called Mr. Fantastic. So that's not being agreeable, actually. You are the one that is agreeing and being a sweet talk and say, hey, I could be a situational cook. I know you getting dick down and putting your mouth on this other man's penis, but when you come home to me, hey, we gonna act like none of that
home to me. She ain't coming home to me.
You know what I mean? Goddamn.
Well, no, it's totally different. That's what I'm saying. I think you're mixing up the two. So again, you're trying to convince me that the actual cuck is not the cuck here. The only cuck is the man where his wife is, the woman that he owns, and then the woman that he claims in public is getting penis inserted to her by another man, right? But I don't need to belabor this too much, right? Because you just proved my point. At the end of the day, the whole assertiveness part about the red pill aspect of it, right? The assertiveness of the red pill is not even the dealings with the woman as much as it is talking about the situations and the current state of the dating, relationship, and mating market, right? So that's where the assertiveness comes in, not how a man individually chooses to deal with a woman, right? Because, they're all different types of men in their approach or whatever. Some men are aggressive with women or assertive with women. Some men don't have to be. I'm just happen to be one of those dudes that don't have to be. If she does something I don't like, I just leave her alone. I cut her off. And most women want to keep dealing with me, so they do what I like to have done for me, right? There's a lot of husbands
because you're agreeing today because you agree.
No, I'm not agreeing to anything.
You and her have an understanding. You try to make it seem like it's a one-sided agreement. No, you understand her as well. You understand that she's able to do whatever she wants as well. So you speak to her, she'll say the same thing. Hey, I get to be with this man when I'm with him, and also I get to be with these other men as I see fit. So yeah, me and this man has a understanding. We have an agreement, whichever word you want to go with, and you the one that's actually being the gentle one. In reality, you are soft talking, you being a sweetheart. Hey, when you not with me, baby, it is what it is, and she could be doing all the things that she's doing with you with another man.
Could be. Could be, but again, it's
that's
way.
why you are the agreeable one, and you the actual sweetheart. Well, I'm not dealing with that at all.
Yeah, again, that's maybe you, right? But we know for a fact there are plenty of married men out here and men in relationships that are getting cheated on.
But those are not willful. But those are not cucks because they don't know. They are not willfully saying, "All right, babe, when you go outside, you're gonna be."
Well, that too. Let's not even talk about that. So we want to talk about the willful ones. That too. There are plenty of married cucks also, known cucks. They had this thing called ethical non-monogamous marriages. Men are participating in this stuff. Some of the biggest swingers. The whole swingers thing is almost all married.
No, you got to be in a relationship to.
Yeah, exactly. So again, so being that we have an actual niche group to where men literally go out with their wives and let other men, poke all of their holes, brother. That kind of pokes holes in your argument. Pause.
But no, it doesn't poke hole in my argument because those men are agreeing to those things with their wife.
The real cucks. Right.
And so, and the prompt is that I'm the agreeable one that is destroying relationship dynamics. You're agreeing with women. In reality, is people that have your mentality that is the one agreeing with this whole so-called, hey, hoes could be, women are free to, I don't agree with that. No, my woman is my woman, and that is that. You cannot, you don't have free range to be out there in the world with other men.
That's where your argument falls apart.
But yours is agreeing with women.
No, that's where your argument falls apart.
You
said the critical word here. Your woman. Those are not my women. Those are just a woman that I'm dealing with at the time. So that's where you lose again. Your woman is someone that belongs to you. You're responsible for. You protect. You provide. You may die for. All these different things, so on and so forth. The women that I deal with for the time are just the women I have an agreement with for a temporary relationship, or so on and so forth, whatever it may be. Okay, it's not the same. So a woman that I have a situationship with is not the same as you that have a relationship with. We're not on the same footing. We're not on the same ground.
You are right. The difference is that you actually agree with what women are doing. You agree that they could go ahead and bust it wide open for anybody as long as they're not bringing.
I understand that most of them are doing that anyway, even especially the married ones, especially the ones. So hold on. So if you're agreeing with me now. You're agreeing with me.
Yes or no? Just for yes or no. So you agree with women go ahead and bust it down outside of you when y'all in a situationship.
Yeah, that's what a situationship is.
Okay, so you agree with. So that is the gentleness that you have with women because you are
that's just reality.
Okay.
That's reality. That is casual sex, brother. Casual sex is had between two people. It's agreement to casual sex. It could be repeated casual sex or repeated casual sex or whatever, right? Whatever you want to call it. But it's casual sex, not within the framework of an actual relationship. Once you get in a relationship, though, and then your woman cheats on you and you find out like fucking Mario Winans, you're hurt about it because you think that woman that's with you only wants you, loves you, appreciates what you does. And then you come to find out again that she's getting dicked down by some other man or men. Okay,
right.
So again, your framing of the optimal word here is your woman, as in possessive, the woman that belongs to you. I don't belong to a woman. A woman doesn't belong to me. There's nothing gentle about that. It's just reality and understanding how the game goes.
Right, because you agree and you put in the fact that you think that I'm going to be hurt. I won't be hurt personally, right? That's just a personal thing. But regardless of the fact, you are in agreement with the things that that woman being free to do whatever she wants. That is actually
humans. I'm in agreement. It's not just me, the man too. I'm in agreement. I'm in agreement with a man and a woman doing whatever they want to do with the opposite sex consensually. Yes.
All right. So now that same woman that you have a situational ship, can another man just come up to her while you're with her walking down the street? Can another man just come up to her and just do whatever with her while you are with her?
He know better. He wouldn't do that. I'm there.
Okay, so therefore you are willing to handle disrespect as you see fit. So
yeah, he would be disrespecting me though.
Perfect. So this idea that you are not willing to die for this and all that, you're going to turn into.
I'm not willing to die. The nigga pull a gun. It's just what it is.
I'm willing to fight. I changed the word. I'm willing to fight for the disrespect because it's not about her. It's about man to man disrespecting me now. It is the same situation. It doesn't matter.
It's not the same situation because I can replace anything with that. It's not just a woman I can be having sex with. That could be my sister. It could be my mother. It could be my brother. It could be my friend. It could be anybody that I'm with. So that's disrespect.
Yeah,
now you're
if
complaining.
it's your sister and a man try to holler at your sister, you're not gonna say, hey, homie, don't talk to my sister. You're like, you gonna allow your grown sister to talk to a grown man.
Yeah, but it's still the chances of him doing it and the way he goes about it.
All right, so now we're in agreement. So that's not the same. And it just goes to show that a lot of men that are on this red pill saying that they're not dealing with all these things. Y'all are the one that's actually messing up the game. Y'all have no way to get this relationship back in order. So y'all just concede and say, hey, we all just willy-nilly because you don't want to have no responsibility of anything. So you say, hey babe, go ahead and do what you do because you don't want to get your heart broken because you're afraid that some man somewhere is going to dick down your woman. I ain't afraid of that. I ain't never got left. Shit.
Friends, final thoughts on this topic.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Listen, man, nigga, Chris Brown and Tom Brady got left. You got a horrible hairline. So let's not even lie like that. Okay, let's not even do that. Okay.
Hey, I ain't never got left. You can't quit me. I ain't never get left.
Sure. All right. So let's even go with that, bro. At the end of the day, bro, I like how you tried to attempt to flip this because the whole red pill assertiveness versus your soft situation is pretty much language that's being used more so than actual relationships and situations and so on and so forth and dynamics, right? But even if you want to use that, you still can't win, and you pretty much admitted defeat and conceded to the point of where if the man is married or in a committed relationship and his woman is cheating on him either with or without his knowledge, whether he agreed to it or not, that man is losing. Okay, he's losing because he didn't agree to her giving that pussy up to somebody else, and he's paying for that pussy. See, me, I'm not paying for the pussy in no way, shape, form, or fashion. We deal with each other, we with each other. When we not each other, we not with each other. Okay, I don't have to pay no bills. I don't have to pay no mortgage. I don't have to do anything outside of the time to where she's dealing with me. Okay, and that's what we agree to. So my responsibility with her when she's with me and so on and so forth, and yours is for eternity, brother. You know what I'm saying? Penis prison. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you make it. Enjoy it.
Hey, listen, this man is crazy. So he's gonna make it seem like he is the most handsome man in the world, that he just got women buying these extravagant vacations and they buy him all these extravagant gifts, and he doesn't give anything but his mouth and peen to these women. Absolutely not. This is not a truthful statement at all. He is willing to be a sweetheart to that lady while she is there. He's talking to her nice. He said it himself. He a smooth operator. He said it himself. He talks to those ladies nice. He agrees with, hey, when you with me, you mine. When you outside, you're his. He don't even care if she married or not. He's willing to deal with a recycled woman, right? He knows that woman is putting her mouth and opening her legs for her husband as well as him. And they still swap and spit and doing all types of nasty things with each other. However that goes. Me, I ain't dealing with that at all. So you, sir, are in agreement with women doing whatever they want. And you are the reason why a lot of relationships is failing, because men have this mentality, as long as I'm getting mine, I don't care what I'm doing to somebody else. Where in reality, if you was dealing with trying to build relationships, you'll tell that man, hey, stay with your goddamn husbands. We men out here, we are being selfish with our opinion. This is my personal opinion. I'm only going to have this for a single woman. We ain't dealing with. You dealing with a man. I respect men so much because I am one, that I'm not going to disrespect the man code by piping down another man's woman. You make her ass go back to her goddamn husband and make a decision. But you men are agreeable. You're sweethearts.
So Sharon called Mr. Fantastic a liar.
Oh, man, bro, when you lie, just lie about a few things. That you ain't got to lie that hard, bro. Anyway.
And friends, Sharon will get you if y'all don't send cash apps to Mr. Fantastic and him, okay? It will go after you. So please make sure you support Mr. Fantastic Cash App and Sharon Bracey Cash App. If not, it will put the black gloves and the do-rag and it's going to go after y'all, okay? For the people that send Cash Apps, W's in the chat for y'all.
Mm-hmm. W's in the shot. W's in the shot.
But I need to verify that once the clock is done, friends. I'm going to start asking my questions on the 20-minute mark, okay? I'll give you space for one more. Matron, thank you so much for the 5. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. We have Do Meskai Tyler. Meskyler. Thomas. Oh, Thomas. Sorry, Thomas. Get sick and find out the truth. Pussy can drive you to the doctor. That's right. Thank you very much. We have 47 years OG with the $5. Appreciate you. We have Mr. 420 himself. Sharon, you just prove his point. Our loyalty is supposed to be to her husband, not him. We have, again, he comes back and he says, Sharon, there's no agreement, period, if he has no ties to these women. And we have Brother Numzi. He sent the super sticker. Thank you very much. And we have Carl Anderson saying, she pulled the lunch. Support you might be wrong on the issues, but you still have to eat. Thank you very much, Carl. Thank you very much, Carl. Thank you very much, Carl. And there's another one. We got the baseball player talking football. Damn. Sharon, you are going to pick the last topic, okay? Because we have 2 on the still. We have the Western man, justifying seeking traditional foreign partners abroad. And we have the rise of male isolation is primarily caused by unrealistic modern female standards rather than the man failing to adapt. Which one do you want to pursue?
What's the man?
One is Passport Bros, kind of like both of them are kind of the same topic. One is local, the other one is going abroad. Who is that for, like is the responsibility of the woman or the man? So I think these 2 are kind of like we're going to put them together because they're kind of the same thing. Okay, Western men are justified in seeking traditional foreign partners abroad due to the decline of dating culture at home. And oh no, there's another one.
Well, I think that we know that the Pastor Bros ain't looking for no goddamn traditional woman. They going to find us again. They are literally going to find the hoes, women that is with them for the meantime, and then bust it wide open for the next person that got $40. So they are not looking for traditional women at all. So I guess we should probably go with the isolation, unless Mr. Fantastic believes that these men are actually going abroad to actually find traditional women when they spending most of their time with paid sex workers.
So the rise of male isolation is primarily caused by unrealistic modern female standards rather than men failing to adapt. Okay, we're going to go with that. When it's the 20-minute mark, we go to the questions, $10 and up. And when the clock hits 0, I'm going to bring the challengers to see if they have smoke for Sharon or for Mr. Fantastic. We have 1 hour to give them smoke. So if you pull up, make it count, be on camera, and make sure you have smoke. Don't park your car in the panel. Sharon, start then. Was it you that started or Mr. Fantastic? Last one.
I started this one.
Okay.
It's time to do.
Mr. Fantastic, who is at fault? Unrealistic modern female standards or man failing to adapt?
Unrealistic modern female standards, of course, because men have adapted. Men have adapted to women's promiscuity. Men have adapted to women not wanting relationships and marriage. Men have adapted to the things that women want. So what they're saying is, if I can't get the traditional feminine family marriage-minded woman in the States, I'm going to go to other places where that's the standard in the culture. Women of other cultures, be it South America, be it Europe, be it Asia, all of those women, Africa even also, have cultures that are extremely patriarchal, and have a strong belief and understanding of marriage. So for those men that do want that, if they want it, they have a better chance of going to those other places to get it. The marriage rate here, I just checked it today. Less than 49% of I'm sorry, 49% of women are married, and the marriage rate is just declining every year. They're saying by 2030, 50% of women are going to be single. So if you want to be married and to have a traditional household for your family, for your children, is going to be get more difficult as time progresses in America. So men choosing to seek out to where women actually have appreciation of men, of patriarchy, of masculinity, right? And none of these feminist concepts that we have here in America is nothing more than reasonable and logical for a man to do if that's what he wants.
Sharon?
Yeah, but it's just a false premise. Those places, majority of people are not living by what he's saying at all. Those women is out there working. They got they say in a household. A lot of them is making more money than they goddamn men, and they tell their man what and when and how to move. I'm in one of those countries that he named, and I see it every single day. It is not going the way how majority of people portray it to be. These women are not soft. They are not just docile. They don't just cower to a man just because that's her husband. No, she's going to have her say so. Now, a lot of them are the breadwinners out here, which is very interesting. I did not expect that at all. And also men have not adapted. What they are adapted to, they are in isolation. That's their adaptation, right? They are not out here being like Mr. Fantastic. Mr. Fantastic might have the skill, the gift of gab, and he's got that smooth talker. Majority of men are not that self-aware to understand. Most of these men are not that self-aware to understand how to communicate with women, to have this single man lifestyle that he is talking about. Majority of these men are in isolation, sitting at home with a sticky goddamn gamer chair. That's what they actually doing. They need to go ahead and figure out how to adapt to how women are moving in today's society, get their bread up, get their communicational skills up, get their vocabulary up, the way how they think and present themselves. They need to move that up because way too many men are stuck in the 1950s and wanting the woman today to respond the way how the women responded in the 1950s. And that's just not going to happen. That shows that these men are not moving with the times. They are in arrested development.
Yeah, so I don't know, where are you? If you don't mind me asking, what country are you in?
Asia.
Well, Asia's not a country, but let's just go with Asia, right? So
yeah, I don't want to say I can tell you behind the scene. You know.
So the problem with your assessment is, again, those men there are poor in comparison to American men. So the average salary for an American man is $70,000. Most of the Asian countries,
again?
$70,000
is the what?
Is the average salary for American man.
In what year?
Now.
So the average man in America is making $70,000. Can we get a fact check on that?
Well, I can show my screen right here.
Go ahead.
Because for what I understand, was always around 50.
Well, no, that's black men.
No, I'm talking about men in general. Men in general, I thought in America make it somewhere around.
For my understanding, it was 55 on average, but I might be wrong too.
Yeah, I got it. I'm sharing my screen, Fatty. Pull it up.
Yes, sir. Here we go.
Happy? $70,000, as I said, almost 71, but let's just go with 70. Let's take the 800 away. You see the prompt, brother, right there. Average American male salary. It says it right there. No need to, fight anything. It's okay.
According to what? No, according to where? I didn't see where.
Fidelity Investment Salary Report.
That's not no official stat. It said investment salary report. Most people, come on,
brother. What do you want? It's the average male salary, dog.
We could just go by. We could go by the government. We could go by the government, not by the investment salary. BLS, whoever that is.
BLS average male salary.
It's because of that word, the median. I think the median.
Okay, so my bad. Let me reshare. Still.
Okay.
Here you go. BLS. Here you go. It's back up, Fatty.
Gotcha. Give me a second. Here we go.
68,000 versus 70,000, which is really 69. So you happy? So either way it goes, let's do 68,000. So the average American man, according to the BLS, Bureau of Labor and Statistics, that's you know what I'm saying? That's Bureau of Labor and Statistics. That's as government as it gets and as official as it gets, okay? Makes more than double. Okay, that's more than double the average Asian man salary. So of course, to where you're saying the women out earn the men, which isn't the standard here, right? Where a lot of the women or most of the women out earn the men here, they're going to have a different attitude for not only a man that makes more money, but a man that's of more desirable and taller stature. Being that we understand women don't really like Asian men like that. If and when an Asian woman can get a man other than an Asian man, that is who they deal with and who they desire. So the outcome would not be the same theoretically for an American man that went over to Asia and chose an Asian wife. Okay. So furthermore, not just Asia, other places in the country, in the world, excuse me, on the globe, around the globe. Okay. American men are like going to be top 10 in earning, just period in general. Okay. Money plays a lot as to how women treat men. And if an Asian woman or a South American woman or European woman or African woman or whatever kind of woman had the opportunity to deal with an American man versus the man that's, for all intents and purposes, poor, right? And small, I think he'd have a better outcome and different outcome. This is why American men have so much success when they go overseas to these other countries.
Yeah, but the problem is they're not actually having success with finding women to marry. They just finding
they don't
women
want to
have sex.
Yeah, because they don't want to, because they don't want to marry them. They want to have sex with them. If and when they do want to they want to get married, it's pretty much all but guaranteed, bro. Come on.
Right. So how are they moving to men are in men are in more isolation now than they were before?
What do you mean by isolation?
That's what the prompt is about men being in isolation. They are being in isolation because they are not adapting to the times and relationships and how women are moving today.
I don't think you can be in isolation if you're traveling internationally. That would literally
but we know majority of men from the U.S. are not traveling internationally. That's
you can't take part of the prompt and not all of the prompt though. So what are we doing?
No, we are taking all the prompt. We know that's not the majority of men. Majority of men that are single and in isolation have passports. It's not even a high percentage of men that have passports like that. And then also are going overseas to go find mates. It's just not.
So we're combining two prompts. So let me address the other part then. So the isolation aspect, again, at most is said to be 30%. So even if you consider 30% a large portion of men that aren't having sex, 70% is still greater than 30, correct? 70% is a clear majority, correct?
70% is the majority. And what that 70% represents?
70% would be the men that are sexually active.
Okay.
So that would defeat your isolation thesis or purpose or hypothesis or whatever.
No, because just because they have sex doesn't mean that they are not isolated. They still in depression.
How are you isolated? That's why I asked you about. So that's why I'm trying to get clarity on isolation. Because if you're saying isolation is what? Isolation usually means one person, solitary. Isolation means you and nobody else, correct?
Yeah, and so when we are talking about isolation in relationships aspects of being with a woman, right? We're not just talking about having sex, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, and then she leaves, because still men feel isolated in that situation. Just because he is having sex with multiple women doesn't mean that he feels like he is in abundance of people around him. He still feels empty. He still feels empty and isolated. He feels like he don't have nobody to. That is not.
That's not, again, like I told you, no, there's a woman's loneliness crisis. There's not a man's loneliness crisis like that. So women are on record as stating as to where they feel as lonely as they've ever felt, despite having medical support and medicinal support for their depression and for their feelings of isolation. There's nothing that says that about men. That's women.
So you saying there's not an issue with men being in isolation in America? You saying that's not a problem?
Well, the only thing that I'm saying isolation would be the quote unquote incels they report, and they say 30% of men aren't sexually active and aren't dealing with women. Those men would be in isolation because, like you said, those men aren't having interactions with women for whatever reason. But 30%, like you agreed to, is far less than 70%. So those would be a minority of men.
So you're saying that the men that are in isolation is only that 30%. The other 70% are not in isolation at all. You're saying?
It would, well, yeah. If you're dealing with women, you can't be, whether it be sex or relationships, you can't be isolated.
But we're talking about
of how they feel would just be speculation.
So now when we're having the conversation about those men that are in isolation, so you agree that those men that are in isolation, that 30% that we having a conversation about clearly, those men have not adapted to the times, and they do not understand women.
A portion of them, obviously, you could say that, but I still wouldn't even argue it would be most of them haven't adapted. It's just that those men aren't desirable, and you can't override women's. This goes back to the demands of the women, right? So being that we're talking about women's unrealistic standards, that's the other part of this. So even the men that have adapted to where they're in the gym, they're making more money, they're doing all the things that you're supposed to do, the women still aren't finding them desirable, and that's not something you can control. If women find you undesirable, regardless of what you do to your adaptation, that's why it's a small percentage of the men that are isolated.
Right. So therefore, those men did not adapt. Right. So the men that are going to the gym and the men that are
everything I said.
Increasing. Yes, because it doesn't make sense if the man is doing all the things that is get him out of isolation. Right. And then he find one woman, he don't have to have an abundance of women. But we're not talking about those men. We're talking about the men that are in isolation. If it is the minority, those men that are in isolation, they are not keeping up with the times. And that's why they are undesirable, because we all know it is ugly men, fat men. When they do the right things, they all of a sudden become desirable. We know Danny DeVito by so-called
Danny DeVito is a legendary millionaire actor.
Right, but by all those other standards, you're saying that men that go to the gym, that make the money, they have all those things, they still undesirable.
And yeah, they look like Danny DeVito, and they're not famous.
Is a clear example that if you do all the right things that make you desirable, even at being a damn near a dwarf, you can still be considered desirable by women by standards.
Then you start talking about levels, right? So again, he is an outlier in salary, to where he can be around women. He has enough money to make women want to override his undesirability. The regular schmegular man, which we know is someone that's now is making like $70,000 on average or less, right? And he's built like Danny DeVito. He's balding like Danny DeVito. He's short like Danny DeVito. He has all of the physical traits that women detest and women find disgusting and unattractive. No matter what he does, he's not going to be able to override it with his adaptation. Because he's not.
And that salary is by the U.S. and it's not by men, by the way. But regardless, we're just accepted just so we can have an argument. That average salary that you put there, the 60, that is by the average of America, not the average.
No, it's male. Male. I put male in there, brother.
So I went ahead and looked, and the number 55 includes all men, meaning part-time men, people that are in college and all that. Full-time, fully working man is 70 something, like Mr. Fantastic said, meaning a man that is working all the men that are working full-time in the United States, if you put it together, it goes to 70 something, not including the part-time workers and all that. So
okay, so let's drop it down even still. So they say if you include all workers, it's 55.
Yes, if you put part-time workers, if you put kids that are in college, if you put a bunch of men that don't have like a full time on the year, your number is correct. And this is fair, and it's a fair representation.
Yeah, it's okay. We can even knock it down. Even if we knocked it down to 55,000, that's still $20,000 more than anybody in Asia. It's still a lot more. Not double, but still significantly more. Over 50% more. Right?
The United States salary, the baseline, you will be a king in 90% of the
world. The world. And most of those places they wouldn't be will be Europe. But just, let me address your point. So
yeah, but the relationship part, right? So even with that, fantastic, with the relationship part, right? Those men that's making that money, they're not going to these other countries to find relationships. The same thing that they get in America is the same thing that they get in these other countries. They are not getting the top-notch women in these other countries. They are getting the women that they can buy. That's what they are getting. They are getting the throwaway women, technically. They are getting the prostitutes, technically. They are not getting the upper echelon of women. They got to go over there and promise these women, like, hey, I'm better than the men that's in your place because I make double or triple their money. So therefore, be with me because I could provide you with something that those men cannot. So they are buying it still. So it's just that a lot of them can't afford to buy it, I guess, here. And that's why they're having this issue. So you're not addressing that part of it. They are only going overseas because their money seemingly goes further. And so they have a better expectation than the men that's in that said country.
Yeah, so it's not seemingly, that's what it is. That's why you have the currency conversion, right? So and furthermore, again, yeah, man, no, this is another misconception as to where the majority, even somewhere near the majority of the women in these foreign countries would be prostitutes or would be the undesirables. Again, I think it's very, very hard to claim that, you know, a majority of the women in, especially we're talking South America, where, you know, some of the most desirable women have ever came from, that most of those women are prostitutes. That's crazy, right? And that they wouldn't deal with the man because they're still operating within the same standpoint of they want a man that's successful and financially stable. So you going over there and them already understanding or knowing that you're an American, it's a preconceived notion that you're already doing better than the men that are around them. So you don't have to go there announcing anything.
If you to come on this side, you'll see how many spas is out here. It ain't that much goddamn massaging and masseuses in the goddamn world.
Yeah,
we know what the hell they're selling in those.
They even do that over here.
We understand what they selling in those spas, and we know that men are not going over to these places and getting the top up. They are not going to Colombia to get the top women. They are not going to the Philippines to get the top women. They are not going to these places and getting the top women of those nations. They are getting women that is ran through by the local dude as well. They are not getting the upper echelon.
Serious? You saying to take serious?
For whatever they doing with them.
Nah, you capping right now. No, a man is not going to the brothel or the massage parlor and getting that woman to be in a serious relationship and marry her. Sharon, come on, bro, you gotta stop.
What I'm saying is that same woman, the way how she operated in her nation.
Closing thoughts, friends. And by the way, everybody needs to be on camera to pull up. Okay, in 20 minutes we're going to open the panel. Every single one of y'all need to be on camera. If we don't have nobody with smoke, we wrap it up and we go about our business. Okay, thank you very much. Go ahead, Sharon. Final thoughts on this one, and then I have a couple of questions.
Yeah, so the men that go overseas, they are not getting the top notch from. They are getting whatever they can, whatever is trying to holler at them. They're getting the same type of low level women that you're claiming. They are not getting the upper echelon women. We know this for a fact, right? They are not getting the doctors, the lawyers, and the politician ladies, and the women that are making good money in those nations. They are getting the women that are not in the upper echelon of women, and that's why their money goes so far.
Final thoughts, Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah, man. Again, man, this is Sharon. I guess he has, you know, some sort of real-time data to look at, but I guess he, as usual, he don't know what he's looking at, man. Again, you know, to say that the men are going to the massage parlors and taking these women serious, other than, you know, to go to massage parlors to get what you get, is kind of crazy. A lot of men have had, I won't say a lot, but there have been a number of men that have had successful long-term serious relationships and marriages from places in foreign countries, be it Asian, be it South American, be it African, or whatnot, what have you, right? So again, Sharon is just, you know, repeating rhetoric, man. You know, listen, I agree with him. Most men do not go to these foreign countries to be married. Again, that's another misconception of what the passport bros and whatever it was. Those were a very, very small percentage of men that were saying they were going overseas to get wives. And because that helped the narrative to make passport bros look bad, they made it as the standard for all the men, which, you know, all men don't even want to be married. So if you have men that are eligible bachelors and have the American dollar behind them, so where their currency stretches by sometimes twice or more times than what the local currency is, and makes them, you know, a king amongst men just in that alone. Not to mention, physical attributes and the ability to have personalities and different things and what like that, bro. I mean, but hey, everybody wants to
so you agree
shit
with me
on the passport bros.
I'm glad that
Everybody
agree.
wants to shit on the passport bros and make it seem like passport bros only have options in foreign countries when they know women selling pussy over here.
I'm glad that you agree with me. Almost every point you agree with me eventually. So it is what it is. Go ahead, Fatty. What's your question?
And friends, once again, SHARON BRACEY will hunt you down if you don't support their Cash App. Any Cash App friends, or we still there's 500 people in the building, and they are still on vacation, or they started supporting already.
Nah, they still on vacation. And I think we're doing an excellent job too, by the way. Shout out to Mr. Fantastic as well for us both being able to handle this disagreements very well. I think we're doing a very good job at that.
Yeah, man. Shout out, bro. And shout out to D Murray, man. Shout out to D Murray for the Cash App. Really appreciate you, brother, for the 10.
Thank you very much, and friends, y'all tripping, okay? If they don't get you, I'll make sure you get some. The 21st is coming, so I'll make sure you'll get something in your pocket, okay? Noy Rice says, Mr. Fatty, can we get a panel with Mr. Fantastic Ali Inc., Dr. Cheat, chopping it up on different subjects? No disrespect to Miss SHARON. I don't know how I'm going to get that done, but let me know. Dollar Washer, thank you so much for the jewels. I appreciate you. We have Mr. Carl. He says, Kung Pao Chicken lunch is always a winner. Whether you are on China or Thailand, it never fails to win the spot. Okay, I have a couple of questions for both of y'all, and then we open the panel. I see
baby girl.
I see Oculus driving and Dexy on the back. Oculus, when you park, let me know when the clock is over. I have 15 minutes for my question, so we go with that. Okay. Let me start with this one. On the unrealistic modern female standards rather than men failing to adapt, question to SHARON. Are local men weak? Should women go get a traditional man outside of the US?
I think that it's not enough traditional men in the US. I think they talk about being traditional, but the way how they move, communicate, and talk about these situations, they are actually not traditional men at all. They want to be modern men, just like the modern woman. They want to do exactly what they just want to be out there being promiscuous, putting their thing in anything and have no commitment whatsoever. That's another reason why we having low birth rates as well, because both parties are just wanting to have sex. That's it.
So you have no problem in telling a woman in the United States if they want a traditional man, maybe to look outside of the country because local men are not traditional anymore.
I think so. I think in other places, it depends where you go. Yes, a lot of men in other places are a little bit more traditional. It seems like yes.
Mr. Fantastic, are women outside of the United States better quality than the local Americans? Are women outside, if you had to balance the probabilities, are women outside of the United States better quality when it comes to marriage material than local Americans?
Yes, clearly, yes. Women outside of the United States are better quality because of patriarchal and cultural norms to where the man is the head and the father is respected. Marriage is looked at as being important. So at the very least, even outside of a marriage and a relationship, the man is understood to be the understood and respected to be the head of relationship, the breadwinner, all those different things.
What country is this?
So South America, Asia, all these places.
Those places got higher divorce rates than what we have.
Asia has a higher divorce rate than what we have.
You said South America.
South America has a higher divorce rate than what we have.
Which country in South America?
Do you know what our divorce rate is right now?
Right. Do you know theirs?
Well, no, I'm asking you because I know ours. I don't know theirs.
What's Brazil's? What's Colombia's?
No, I don't think they are above the United States.
I don't think they're above the United States, bro.
You have several
50%.
Yes, you have several countries in Europe that are clearly above the United States, but on South America, I think you are on the lower 30s, high 30s at max. Like at the worst possible, I don't think you have any country above 40%. Let me ask this question to Mr.
Yeah, no, and I just googled that. So yeah, no South American countries has a higher divorce rate than United States.
Sharon. Women that date rich American men for money are prostitutes. Foreign women that date rich American men for money are prostitutes. Is this facts or fiction?
Say it one more time.
Foreign women that date American men for money are prostitutes. Is this a fact or fiction?
That got to be a fact, yeah.
American women that date American men for money are prostitutes. Is this a fact or fiction?
That's a fact.
To make sure. Interesting. On the second topic, on the third topic, Sharon, gentle approach versus fantastic red pill. This is a question for both of y'all. Tell me one thing that would make your opponent message a little bit better. Let's start with fantastic and then with Sharon. Tell me one thing that will make your opponent message a little bit better.
Oh, him, yeah, man, just not pandering to the women, man, and sometimes giving the women pushback and telling the women where they're wrong and telling the women what they need to do. Considering men, like, hey, man, men are important, men are essential, men are the leaders, men make more money, men are, have, better decision making skills and life skills. Men make a lot of sacrifices. Just giving some credence to the men and pushing back on the women when they're just completely, totally wrong. Like we do all the time. We tell men, hey, man, don't be fat, don't be broke, and make yourself as least ugly as you possibly can. You know what I'm saying? Don't get no surgery or no shit like that. But, hey, don't go out the house looking like a bag of ass, as we used to say back in the good old Navy days.
Sharon?
I think what would help if he's the tell men that it is okay to be kind to women. That's how you actually get what you want from a woman. You get more with honey. Be gentle, just like Mr. Fantastic. Learn how to be a better talker. Learn how to be smooth. Learn how to communicate with women, because that's how you get what you want out of that woman. Whatever it is that you want out of that woman, you get it through communication. Mr. Fantastic communicates that he doesn't want no long-term relationship. He wants daytime to be beautiful when it's just them two. Learn how to communicate that with the women that you are dealing with. Stop selling these women dreams. I don't believe Mr. Fantastic is selling women dreams. They understand what they're dealing with when they're dealing with Mr. Fantastic. So he needs to let men understand that the type of woman that you want is out there. So you could be honest and truthful, and you be able to get that type of woman if you communicate it properly.
Oh, man. Fantastic. Any situation where you would be completely against physical punishment? This is on the physical correction when it comes to the kids. Any situation where you would be completely against physical punishment? Let's take off the kids that are a little bit special and all this. Like any situation where you'd be completely against it?
Outside of any type of, mental or physical limitations, yeah, no, hell no. I think it's essential. I think there's a point in time as to where it should be like a cutoff. I don't think you need to be trying to, get physical with your teenager for the most part. It should already be embedded in there. But no, I don't think there's any point in time to where there's, if you've talked and you're not being listened to, as to where corporal punishment should be off the table.
Sharon.
Oh, by the way, Fatty, in China, the divorce rate is at 44%. It's right there.
I don't think you have do you have 44, or you have like a number for every 100 marriages there's 44 divorces? Check if that's
because I think on Fantastic it's 49% for us, and I think that's how it goes. And it's 44% for them. However that metrics is, it's 44% for them.
I need to check that.
What's the question about the ass whoopings?
If whoopings don't work and you got whoopings, did that impacted you?
Yes. Yes, whippings affected me in a way that I believe that was the way how you correct human behavior. If I disagree with somebody and they didn't want to listen, I got physical with that person. But as I got older, I understood that being physical is not the way how you should communicate with humans. You shouldn't be putting your hands on other human beings, whether they little human beings or grown human beings. You gotta learn how to conflict resolve things without physically putting hurt on somebody. It takes me way more patience and IQ and self-awareness to get out of sticky situations where it can get to physical situations. So I think it's more detrimental to human beings to learn how to conflict resolution with physicality.
And we have 3 people on the back, Oculus, Dexio, and CEO. So we have a couple of challenges. Mr. Fantastic, if we are in the safest society ever and we don't practice violence towards our kids, doesn't that mean that corporal violence actually doesn't work? Let me repeat it again. If we are becoming less violent and parents eat their kids less and less than they ever eat in the history of mankind, doesn't that mean that violence doesn't work?
No, because it's the way you're the way the metrics are measuring, right? So we're talking overall crime. I think that's a good metric, right? But I know for sure that school shootings and things like that have went up. And I'm pretty sure if we look at juvenile crime, shout out to Diesel. Diesel actually put a super chat stating it. So we look at juvenile crime rate versus what the juvenile crime rate was previously. I think we have to parse it out and be specific in you know what I'm saying, in what we're looking at. Because you look at overall crime, yes, it would be a reduction. But I think we look at more, and we've seen this, Fatty. I don't know if you guys have this over there. Teen takeovers wasn't a thing like that when me and Sharon were teenagers, you know, to where you literally have these kids that are going out to vandalize businesses and things like that. And the amount of kids with guns and all of these things, bro. I think if we look at that to now, yeah. When you look at the,
can you repeat what teen takeovers are?
Teen takeovers is like when a whole group of kids go into like a business and they either like ransack it or they rob it, or they just go to like a mall or someplace and they're just being reckless and rambunctious, tearing up property, fighting, all those different things. And it's orchestrated through social media. It's something that couldn't exist until the social media age starts, because these kids actually plan these things. Hell, Fatty, they just had a thing the other day where kids are promoting after school fights now through social media. So that's why I say no.
Yeah, but wasn't that happening before? It's like the Kia boys, they might have something, but people will fight. People were stealing cars before the
yeah,
term, right?
But there wasn't promotion
New
for
Jersey
it, though, Fatty.
Drive.
So it's totally different.
There was a movie about it.
Yeah, but it's totally different. It's totally different when, and again, you look at the numbers though. So I think and as of recently, there actually was, speaking of New Jersey Drive, New Jersey just had a huge uptick in car thefts because of, like you said, Fatty, the Kia boys. So you actually gave credence to one of the things that prove it, to where you had a huge uptick in child crime due to the lack of parental involvement.
So I think
Sharon,
also the team takeovers thing, I think it always been there. It's certain malls, well, at least in New York, certain malls you just can go to after schools because it's right. Places is famous for is like the Coliseum Mall on Jamaica Avenue. They had to close that down and revamp that. Kings Plaza Mall in downtown Brooklyn, they had to revamp that. Now I don't even think it's Kings Plaza Mall anymore. They turned it into something completely different. So these things have been happening for a very long time. Fabulous is known for being a goddamn a booster. That's how they got things. There was a thing called the Low Lives out here in Brooklyn. That's what they was known to do, to run up in stores and steal as much polo as they possibly can. So this thing been going on for a long time. It's just that now we got the cameras to back up all of our rhetorics now.
Question to Mr. Sharon, last one on this one, and then Kamala, and then we open the panel for the fellas to for the smoke. physical correction, Sharon. Are you against physical correction even with violent kids? Like when you literally
If you
tried
have
every single other way, you couldn't. Like, are you okay against physical correction against violent kids when you actually try to talk to them and do all the other stuff, or you still don't like that type of approach?
I think at that far extreme, if your kid is being physically violent with you, you have to defend yourself. It's just like the same example with women, right? I think you should not put your hands on a woman, but if she has a bad knife and she's coming at you physically, you're gonna have to restrain that human being physically, right? So, am I against putting your hands on children and human beings? Absolutely. Do I believe that you need to defend yourself at all costs? Absolutely as well.
Okay, now the last question when it comes to Kamala and Trump. Let me go to Mr. Fantastic. Mr. Fantastic, is Donald Trump a liar?
Yes, he's a liar like all politicians. Yes, he's a liar like all politicians.
Sharon, what did Kamala do wrong to lose so bad against an incompetent opponent, in your opinion?
I think she didn't make the right corrections and admitting fault that her administration did wrong or didn't handle correctly. She tried to pass the buck and act like it was somebody else's fault. She should have took responsibility to that and say, I'm going to move forward and do things differently as I'm going to be the person that is running this damn thing. If she would have took that approach a little bit earlier, I think she would have had a better result. Also, I think she should have catered to men a little bit more, because that was the tone of the nation, that men were being not heard at the moment.
Thank you very much. Mr. Fantastic, are you against legalization of prostitution?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's actually interesting. I heard that. I was like, let me ask just to make sure. So no paying for pussy. Sharon, would Kamala Harris work for the people or for corporations, like most of the politicians we know in both sides?
I think she's still been, if we talk about percentage wise, I think she'd have leaned more on the corporations, but I think she'd have been more of a percentage towards the people than what Donald Trump is. I think Donald Trump is heavy on the corporation side. And if we was to do like I think Donald Trump is 70% for the corporations. And I think Kamala would have been 65% for the corporations.
Last questions for Mr. Fantastic. Did tariffs work? Did the tariffs work?
As of now, no.
Any final question that you'll have to ask before we open the panel to each other?
I think the final thing I would say is that I think me and Fantastic agree more than what he tried to make it seem out to be. He just don't like the way how I word things. But in reality, he agrees with me. Donald Trump sucks at the moment from what we can judge of this term right now and present day, from what he promised to what he delivered. He sucks. The red pill men need to learn how to be sweethearts.
Mr. Fantastic, any final thought or question that you have before we open the panel for everyone?
Nah, man. Good debate, man. You know what I'm saying? Easy work.
Damn, he said easy
work.
Friends, once again, I appreciate both of y'all for the time and for the smoke. I appreciate it. Friends, right now.
Also, to be shout out, I finally got somebody bought me some lunch. So shout out to you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Real quick.
I don't know if you want me to say your name or not, but thank you. I usually don't say the names. I usually that's somebody that want to be, keep it to themselves. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Shout out to Matthew for the 20 ball. Thanks.
Yeah, friends. I'll send you $50.
Shout out to Matthew.
I'll send you $50 on Monday each. Y'all did great. I'm still broke. When I'm rich of this YouTube shit, I'll send more. Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate y'all. Friends, we have a couple of goals to reach. We need 10 members and we need, 10 members and we need $100 and something on the Cash App. Is okay if we don't reach it, but we are going to get now to actually the interesting part of the show. So today we have actually opponents. I just want to remind y'all we're on vacation on the ladies first and on the super panel. So Friday, show. My air conditioner finally is going to be up on the wall. So I think I'm going to be able to start working back again. On Sunday, no super panel. iTalks, how you doing? But on Saturday, the Battle of Sexes returns. The Battle of the Sexes returns. It's been a year since we did this show. We prepared a bunch of infrastructure to start. The TikTok Toxicity and the Monkey app are going to be on the red channel, and this show is back too. We're going to have Team King Rich is representing the man, the team captain, versus Team Don Quisha, Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern. The Battle of the Sexes is back. Other than that, friends, let's see if we can get the goals. We need 10 members and $100 and something in the Cash App. I want to thank CEO first, the first and the only Cash App of the show. If you want to support the Hamburger Fund, you know exactly what to do. And I'm not going to play the hamburger. Yes, I do.
I would like to buy the burger.
I would like to buy a hamburger.
I would like to buy a hamburger.
I would like to buy a hamburger.
I would like to buy a burger.
I would like to buy a hamburger.
The burger.
Hey, baby. If you're feeling a fatty, hit that like, smash subscribe, and bless the Cash App at $TeamFatty8.
Friends, once again, there's 3 people on the back. Y'all are going to have 10 minutes each to make your point. Let's see what we have. The panel is officially open.
The panel is now open.
The wait is over. The gates are open. All who seek the panel, enter now. It's time to do.
Friends, the bounties are on $50 and up, okay? No small bounties because we need them to have a little bit of continuity if they're doing so bad. $50 and up to drop or to bring them up, okay? So I just want to know, because Oculus was here first, then Dexio, and then CEO. Welcome to the show. I just want to know, please unmute yourself and tell me, y'all have smoke for Sharon or for Mr. Fantastic?
Sharon.
Mr. Fantastic.
Okay, what about you, Dexio?
I got smoke for both.
For both, so we're going to do these, right? This is actually pretty good. Let's start with Oculus. Okay, Oculus, you can look at the road. Don't look at us, okay? Make sure you have the eyes on the road.
How you know? Okay.
Make sure you have eyes on the road, and we go with that, okay? You have 10 minutes, and then we are going to go to the rest.
Start with somebody else first. Start if you.
Okay. So, hey, CEO, Dexio, because you have smoke for both. I'm going to save you for last, okay? Thank you so much, sir.
All right.
I appreciate you. Let's have fun, friends. Mr. CEO, you have 10 minutes.
It's time to do.
Yeah, I'll be quicker than 10 minutes. Sharon, you believed Kamala Harris would be a better president, and when Mr. Fantastic was explaining how money was working, I pulled up the inflation numbers. Biden had an average overall of 5%, and he peaked at 9%. And as of right now, Trump is keeping the inflation hovering around 3%. And what Fantastic was saying about kicking the can down the road, yes, things does seem a little bit more expensive. It is because the value of the dollar is very low right now. So it's like, it seems like we paying more for these products, but it's really just the value of the dollar is going down, which is why a bunch of countries were selling their U.S. Treasury bonds and trying to find another currency to trade on. And as far as the war that you were speaking on, technically, even the war on terror wasn't officially a war. because we haven't declared war since 1942. You can just consider these a military operations. And even Kamala herself has said that Iran was the imminent threat. So I think even if she would have won the presidency, we'll be right here fighting with Iran. And that's all I had to say.
Sharon interrupted.
I guess the main issue I have with it is that, Kamala, both candidates, like you talking about Biden. Biden has nothing to do with what Kamala is doing, what she would have tried to implement, right? Because both candidates proposed very expensive policies, right? And we could compare them. And when we compared, when people that has that for a living, when they do economics for a living, they said her plan was better than his. And we just can't get around that his plans or what he did from his results has not produced this better economy that y'all was running on. It did not result into him not having wars. We having wars. These is what's happening. So his results is, you can't argue those results.
Well,
he got us in war.
Okay.
His policies are dangerous. She said it herself. His foreign policy is going to make sure we have boots on the ground. He said we wasn't going to have boots on the ground, but yet we have boots on the ground. And again, both policies was very expensive policies, but his was a little bit more expensive than hers. You just cannot get around that. And the economic plan, you cannot act as if his is working out properly, right? Hers was tax child credit, which was like $6,000 for newborns. The housing construction, where you get $25,000 for a first-time home buyers credit. It was a lot of incentives that was going to be good for the economy to build the economy if her situation went out the way how she see fit.
I think with the housing plan that she had, we were going to lead right back into a 2008 crisis, right? And I'm gonna just use Atlanta for example. When she finally came out with a plan on her website, $1 million house started to go for $1,025,000 because Atlanta knew that they were building more houses and that she was giving everybody a free $25,000, right? And she proposed to build 2 million more new homes, right? At what cost, right? We don't make our timber, right? So we would have had to still be dependent on China, right? And as far as the economy, Trump is doing a better job at balancing the economy because he's keeping inflation around 3%. That is a big deal. Even though it feels more expensive, it's at 3%. You understand what I'm saying?
No, but are things more expensive?
No, because I understand money. I know I have to pay more, but it's not. I'm looking at, like, I trade binary options, right? And just like Mr. Fantastic said, Japan is known for keeping the most U.S. Treasury bonds. But when I trade buying the U.S. dollar against the Chinese yen, the Japanese yen, I get my 92% return, right? I'm able to predict that it's going to continue to drop. You understand what I'm saying? So it makes,
but you talk.
It's
do
not,
most people trade? Do
like,
most people trade?
like
and
the
and
number,
the Chinese money is called yuan, right? It's not called
okay,
yen.
look.
So
look. Can of soda, right? Is worth $1, right? It's still this can of soda, but the dollar is only worth 75 cents. So now the price is $1.25. Did the can of soda get more expensive?
Yes.
No, it did not. The dollar lost value, and that's what we're trying to say. It feels more expensive.
Did I make more? Am I making more? Am I making more money?
Wait. Let me just explain this.
Hold on, but am I making more money, or am I at the same money I've been making?
That's not Trump's fault. That's wherever your
But answer the
employer's fault.
question: am I making more money?
No, you're actually making less money.
So therefore, it's more expensive for me.
No, it's not more expensive. You're not being paid. You're not being paid to keep up with the pace of inflation. That's what it is. If your job gave you a 3% raise every year to keep, or if your job increased your pay to match the inflation rate, you will seem to be making more money, but your pay really stays the same, even though the number is getting higher. Did that make sense?
Perfect. So, but that's not. But okay, that's perfect. That would be a perfect world, right? But that's not happening. What is happening is that our pay is staying the same, and goods are getting more expensive.
But that's not Trump's fault, though. That's the CEO and the that's the CEO's fault. That's not Trump's fault.
So it is his fault, because one of the reasons why it's like that is because of the Iran war.
How is it? Those
oil prices trickle down to all aspects.
All right. I'm gonna explain it like this.
The tariffs that he's putting on everything, it trickles down to all aspects.
I'm gonna explain it like this.
If a different country, so it's not just China that we are getting goods from. We got Indonesia. We got all, like, even coffee, right? Coffee, it used to be in a certain country, and now it's in Indonesia is where you're getting coffee beans from now, right? Our meats, we're not getting it from our farms because it's more expensive to farm, right? He's affecting things here because of the moves that he made. So those tariffs, it made things more expensive here. The war, it made things more expensive here. Him saying that he's going to bring all these goddamn factories here before he brings them here is a problem. He should have brought them here, and then he could have did all those things. And the next thing is, too, we don't have no factories to build textiles to have these goddamn clothes. If you buy American-made boots, American-made clothes, it's much more expensive to make here because we don't have the textiles machines to do it here.
That's not Trump's fault. That's Bill Clinton's fault.
We don't create no goddamn loop machine so you can have the best quality t-shirts. We don't have that here.
CEO, I'm going to bring the number to 3 minutes so you can do we have time to do your final thoughts and all that, okay? So you can explain what you need to explain. By the way, friends, we need still 8 members. So if your name is in gray in the chat, please become a member. I'll truly appreciate it. I'll bring Oculus and Mr. Fantastic next, because he has some smoke for Mr. Fantastic.
I am going to make it real simple. In 2012 in New York City, right, I paid $4.23 a gallon, right? Today, I pay $3.48. Today's gas is more expensive than 2012's gas. Do you understand what I'm saying? Sharon.
Yeah.
He said yes. You nodded, yes.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, even though the number was higher in 2012 and the number is lower in 2026, the gas is more expensive now, right? And that's what Fantastic was trying to explain. With the inflation, the value of the dollar goes less. And that's all I got to say, bro. I ain't got no more smoke for you.
No more smoke. So let me get Oculus. Are you ready? Go ahead. I'm going to put this
I got a question.
On the 10-minute mark, and then we go from there. Friends, bounty's $50.
It's time
to be pretty fast. Mr. Fantastic. Do he think he himself is a traditional man? And I want to ask Mr. Fantastic, what do he think a woman's role in a relationship, aka a marriage, is, not a boyfriend-girlfriend situation? And what do he think a man's role is in a quote-unquote marriage or relationship?
No, I'm sorry, Oculus. Is that smoke or is that an interview?
No. That's Mr. I think his name Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah. But do you have smoke for any statement they made, or are you trying to get an interview? Like, what is this? What is that? What's your opinion?
My question is, because once he answers, then I can, attack.
Let's do the opposite. Make a statement, and then if they don't agree, they will challenge you.
Okay. specifically to Mr. Fantastic, I think some of the information that you gave is real anecdotal information in regards to relationships, to passport bros, etc. And I also think that if one, and Sharon too, and Sharon, you my boy, but I think that we should cite the sources in which we, extrapolate this information from, because I'm more of a concrete person versus, your people's opinions. So can you cite some of the sources in regards to?
Make a concrete statement then.
Yeah, what are you asking?
Okay. If you are more concrete than opinions, make a concrete statement so Mr. Fantastic has something to actually go against.
Okay, so Mr. Fantastic, you stated that women in America are not traditional men. And you said that to Sharon, and I don't agree with you. I think that men in America are actually traditional men. I think a
I
lot
didn't
of
say
the
that.
stuff.
That statement is against more Sharon than Mr. Fantastic.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Okay, well then I concede. I'm sorry. You can go ahead and move on. I'm sorry.
Okay. Dexio, make sure that you see. I appreciate you, my man. I see you later. Thank you very much for pulling up. Dex, you said that smoke for both of them. Let's start with Fantastic, and then we go to Sharon. If anybody has smoke, you can click the link. If not, we wrap it up and send everybody to Red. Let's get the goals frames. We still need 8 members and $100 and something on the Cash App. Make it count. Go ahead, Dex. You uninterrupted. I'll give you 15 minutes since you have actually smoked for both.
Okay. Here's my problem in a nutshell with Mr. Fantastic and most of the Manosphere in general is that you guys want to sit there and talk this talk and preach these way that you do to women, but y'all don't actually walk the walk. Like, it's just a reality of the fact you sat there and you had the argument with Sharon about a married man that has a wife is going out and ends up sleeping with another man as a cuck, when that's not the case. In all reality, the pure definition of what a cuck is what you're doing, where you're willingly allowing the woman to go and sleep with other men while you're also hitting it at the same time.
You ready? You ready? You done?
Yeah.
So actually, you're wrong. Okay, because cuck is short for cuckold. Okay, and the only official way you can even be a cuckold is having a wife.
No.
So being yes. Look up the definition. Don't take my word for it. See, I love when people get up here and make themselves look stupid by making definitive statements and they don't know the meaning of words, which is very, very important, right? So I can't be a cuck because, again, I don't own these women. I don't claim these women. I'm just dealing with these women casually, my guy. So first L, what's your next one?
Okay, so then what's the purpose of you sitting there talking about the red pill space whenever every red pill person on any podcast or any video will sit there and say that if they're dealing with a woman, that woman is only dealing with them and dealing with them only, and they're not allowed to step out. But yeah, you're allowing women to step into other men.
For one, they're lying. For one, if you believe what these men tell you about the way they dealing with women and how they this and how they that, brother, do I have news for you?
That's not my point.
One.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Well, it has to be a part of the point. It don't have to be your point. So what I'm telling you is you're believing what men are telling you they're doing with women, and I understand the reality of it. Okay, I've seen women expose these same men. These men, that red pill men, y'all love to talk about, have been exposing what they're doing with and for women. Okay, one, I'm not even a red pill guy. I'm me. Okay. I don't. That's why I hate that label, because I know better. I'm a realist. I understand how men work. I understand how women work. And what I know is when a man is not in a relationship with that woman, he has no control over that woman, for one. Even if a man is in a relationship with a woman, he really don't have control over her. Okay, but a man, especially not in a relationship with her, he don't have no control over that woman. And if and when he has the option and the ability to get multiple women at his fucking behest and his will, he don't give a fuck. That is the game, sir. Something that you don't know nothing about, obviously. So if who
are you saying doesn't know nothing about, bro?
You
know what, I'm sick of a lot of you dudes. You know what, bro? Hold up.
With the Sub-Zero mask on in your living room.
Who gives a shit, bro? You don't know my pedigree. You don't know my lifestyle, bro. You better look up who the fuck I am before you sit there and run your
nobody.
mouth.
You're nobody. You're here trying to argue with me, and you're wrong.
Bro, I am somebody. I am somebody. Go check my background, homeboy. You don't know shit about me.
Nobody.
You're privileged,
and your feelings, and you're emotional.
Bro,
And
you
you're
got my life
emotional.
fucked up, dog.
And
You
you're
got me
emotional.
fucked up.
And you're emotional.
Bro, you're the one propping up a fucking
Propping up
lifestyle
what? I'm having a
that doesn't
conversation.
make any sense.
It makes
You
perfect
did
sense for
in this whole
the men that
conversation
can
between
do
you
it.
and Sharon, you
It
propped
makes
up a lifestyle
perfect
that
sense
makes
for
no
the
sense.
men that can do it.
No, because none of the dudes that are in that lifestyle fucking practice the way they preach.
What are you
Okay,
talking
you
about?
can't
What are
live
they
a lifestyle.
practicing?
Bro,
Go ahead, finish your
because-
point, Dexter, and Fantastic respond afterwards.
Bro.
What do you mean by they don't practice what they preach?
Yeah,
They
what are you
sit there
saying?
and they
Because you're
talk
just
about
saying
how
something, you're not
you
explaining
don't
it.
deal with 304s, you don't deal with these type of women, you don't do this, you don't do that. A woman has
Who
to stay
said
faithful
that?
to- I don't know. Fresh and fit. Stevie Knight. Do I have to
Lie,
drop you a list of names?
lie. Stop. Wait, so let's do this. When have Fresh and Fit said they don't deal with hoes?
Bro, they tell you that all the time.
No. I'm gonna ask you again. When has Fresh and Fit said they do not deal with hoes?
Bro, I'll go grab clips and I'll send them to you so that way you can verify what I'm saying.
Let
I've
me
seen
clarify.
it too. I've seen it happen.
Let me
many
clarify
times.
this. Fresh and Fit clearly deal with hoes because they actually go to
Thank
sites
you.
where
I'm not saying that they don't.
They are especially Fresh. They are very known for
They've
dealing
been
with
exposed.
hoes.
Those are two of the main people that's
but
been exposed. Both of them.
both of them go to seeking arrangements to get woman and all that. And Stevie Knight, he doesn't go with those because they're motherfucker married, so he can be going after hoes.
That's not
'cause he
my
married.
point. That's not my point. What I'm saying is that when they preach these talking points
Mhm.
about how men shouldn't go for those types of women, but then in the background, that's what they're doing. You can't practice a lifestyle that you're not committing yourself to. It's like a pastor sitting there and telling you to go follow God, but in the meanwhile, he's touching boys in the back. It
No.
makes no sense.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that's
so
not
again, I
the-
think, and that's
Go
another
ahead.
misconception. I don't think you guys understand that. Yeah, you shouldn't deal with those women seriously. They're not saying abstain from those women completely, and that's another misconception and misunderstanding of what the red pill is. Red pill is the truth. Most women are hoes, bro. So are you telling that? Do you think that men are out here telling men that they should only have casual sex with serious women that are the most valuable things? No, another big component of the red pill is being able to deal with women and get sex from women, with every man wants. That's what every man wants in a relationship, whether he's married or whether he's situational or whatever. Every man deals with women for sex. You agree on that, correct?
Stop busting nuts in them.
But that
Brother, this ain't even your turn. What are you talking for?
Here's the thing, man.
Well,
is
hold on.
that if
Let's
you're
get
gonna-
some. Hold on. Let's get some common ground here first. I'm gonna ask you again. Do you agree that men deal with women for sex?
Yeah, the majority of the time, yes.
Every time, not majority of the time, brother. All the time. If a man is romantically involved with a woman, trying to talk with a woman romantically, he's dealing with her for sex. Yes or no?
No, not all the time.
No.
I would say most of the time, but not all of the time.
So what man gets in a romantic relationship with a woman and never expects sex? What percentage of men is that?
That's not what the nature of the original question was.
Yes, it literally was. I asked that specifically, brother, and I repeated it. So I'm going to ask you again. And well, actually, I made the statement. All men deal with women romantically for sex. All of them. You said most.
Yeah, a lot of them deal with it for companionship.
Not a lot, brother.
I'll
No,
concede
no.
on that. I'll concede on that then.
That's
So
right.
we
I
can
know.
move on. So we can
You
move
got
on.
to. Okay. So now that we've established that, right? If you just want sexual access and you don't want a serious relationship, why would you not deal with hoes?
What?
I'll ask again.
Bro,
if you
what-
just go
Okay,
ahead. Go
tell
ahead,
me,
brother. I
tell
won't
me
cut you off.
any of these manosphere creators that are out here that are sitting there saying that they just want to deal with hoes and they don't want anything serious. Bro, you're
I don't
playing.
follow a
You're
lot of 'em. I don't know.
You're bugging if you say that. Fatty, I don't
I
consider.
don't think
I
I'd
don't
be
consider.
bugging.
Look, Fatty, here, in my opinion, I don't consider you manosphere. I consider you like middle of the road.
Damn.
I consider you. I consider you a fair. I consider you fair.
Damn.
Well,
this man just called me a mutt. That's fucked up.
No, I considered you fair.
Well, I wouldn't. I'm definitely not bugging. I would say again, men are the whole promotion of most of the men, quote unquote, red pill men, is sexual access to women, bro. It's like part and parcel. It's self-explanatory. You don't got to be said. No one is saying, of course, you don't take hoes serious for serious relationships and treat hoes and try to make hoes housewives. Of course not. But if you just want sexual access to women, the hoes are going to be your best bet, bro. What are you talking about? This is crazy.
Yeah, but weren't you the one that disagreed that prostitution prostitution shouldn't be legalized. So then where
Yeah,
where,
just
where
I
are you
don't
coming from
believe.
at this point?
Well, it's very simple, brother. It's not as complex as you think it is. I think that men should not have to pay for sex. I do not condone men dealing with women and paying them directly for sex. That means that woman has no natural desire for you. I don't think you're going to get anything out of that woman, and then your sexual what's the name is controlled. When you can actually talk to a woman or deal with a woman that actually desires you and wants to give you sex without paying her a fee.
Bro, what's the point in desire? If y'all are just not trying to get with these women, what's the purpose of desire?
I mean, that's the best you get out of a woman. I mean, again,
No,
y'all come up here and y'all make yourself look, bro, like y'all gonna pull a gotcha on somebody else. So let me explain this to you, brother. Okay, respectfully, right? So when a woman actually desires you, okay, physically and sexually, all right, and she likes you because of how you make her feel during sex, and she's actually attracted to you, that woman will do things for you.
But why do you care if they're hoes and you're just trying to do that? Why do you care?
Because consistency is key. Do most men want consistent sex, or do men just want sparing sex, or just sporadic? What do you think?
Bro, but if you're all as good as you claim to
Well,
be,
answer
you
the
can get
question
it
first
anywhere.
before you
You
make
don't
your
need
statement.
consistent sex from one person.
Well, I'm saying it has to be one person, but if you're good at it, you can actually have consistent sex with more than one woman. I know it's a foreign concept to a lot of men too. They don't understand that.
Bro, there's women out there that'll give you whatever you want just for very little. You don't need to sit. So then why are you talking about desire then? There's women out there that'll give you their best for nothing.
Because she desires you, brother. Because she desires you. She doesn't do that for a man she doesn't desire. The man she doesn't desire, she doesn't give it up for little or nothing. She usually has a benchmark of where you have to have an entry fee. You have to pay so much, you have to spend so much time, you have to do so many things as to where there's a price for you.
Bro,
I know,
you
man.
literally
I'm teaching
just
you a
said
lot,
that
man.
you don't.
You're a grown man, but I'm teaching you a lot. You said I didn't know you.
Literally just said that you don't pay for sex, but yet you're talking about taking women on dates and all. You're paying. You're paying.
I didn't say anything about taking. I didn't say anything about taking a woman on a date
or a date.
I'm talking about, and again, well, hold on, you're not framing it properly. I said for the man she does not actually desire. So of course, the man, I'm not talking about me, brother. You're not listening well. I'm gonna say this again. For the man that's not actually desire, and I just gave you this brand new concept of women actually desiring men. So, and this is new to you, okay? But for the man that she does not desire, he has to do a certain amount of dates. He has to spend X amount of dollars. He has to do so many of these motherfucking scavenger hunt type things before he even gets an opportunity to smell the vagina. The man she actually likes, my brother, he getting that pussy on day one.
Yeah, if she truly desires you, you shouldn't have to put up that much.
No, even if she truly desires you, most women don't have a just you show up and she give you pussy, you give her dick policy, brother. Let's be realistic. Yeah, I'm a realist, dog. I'm a realist. I don't have this thing where most men don't show up in the room and say, fuck me. And all the women motherfucking get naked and go along with it, brother. That's very, very small percentage of men. What I'm telling you though,
3 minutes and then we get Sharon.
Okay, then call a spade, bro. Whether you're paying for a date or you're paying for anything like that, paying is paying. It's transactional. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. When you are purchasing something bro, do you not understand what the definition of a transaction is? Do I need to spell that out for you?
No, you don't.
Yeah. Whether you're feeding her or you're giving her cash, you are paying for it. Regardless. No. Yes. That money is no longer in your bank account, and it's either in her belly or it's in her pocketbook. You're paying for it.
Okay. So the difference is this though. It's a mutual enjoyment. It's a mutual benefit. So if I'm going out to do something,
is prostitution.
Well, no, it's not.
Yes, it is. Because if it wasn't good for you, you wouldn't pay for it.
Well, no, you paying for that whether it's good or not. So me having a regular what you call it, recreational activity. I'm going out to eat. You ever went out to eat with a homeboy?
Oh yeah. So I'm just going out to eat.
Answer the question, brother. You good at making statements. I answer the question. I'm gonna ask you the question. So I'm gonna ask the question again, bro. You ever went out with a group of your guys?
Yeah, I don't pay for any of them. I'm also.
Oh, you never. So you hold on. So a motherfucker. You don't know me. You don't better check my resume. You ain't never bought a round of drinks, brother. You ain't never paid for a round of drinks.
I don't drink like that, so I don't even do that. If I drink at home by myself. I
so
don't.
You ain't never picked up the tab or nothing. You the cheap broke friend.
Look, bro. Let me.
You the cheap broke guy that don't nobody want to invite out. You make yourself look bad, brother. Even worse.
Bro, who
brother.
gives a shit? Because I want to stay to myself. Who cares?
Okay, great. So being that you're antisocial and you've never been out and bought a round of drinks and so on and so forth, okay? See, in social situations and social settings where people go out and they hang out, people pay for shit, okay? Be it men or women. If I pay for a round of drinks, I don't expect to fuck my homeboy after, all right? No diddy, okay? All right, but because we're out and we agreed to go to a bar or somewhere to eat food and I pick up the fucking tab, it's just me enjoying companionship during that fucking situation. It is the same if it's a woman versus a man. It's just for her, it's the bonus after is me getting some motherfucking neck.
Nah.
So now do you understand the difference of fucking direct, okay, and fucking indirect or something to where you're just in a fucking activity?
What were you about to say? A direct transaction versus an indirect transaction. It's still transactional, no matter how you want to call it.
It's not the same. It's still not the same. I'm not paying her for pussy. I am not saying, hey, ma'am, I would like some vagina, and we go straight to having sex. It is not the same as a fucking recreational activity that I'm just doing with somebody else, and I'm getting equal fucking enjoyment. I don't then pay her again for the sex. If it was transactional, it would be, hey, motherfucker, you got to pay for my food and these drinks, and you got to pay me for the pussy afterwards. That would be fucking directly transactional. You're welcome for the lesson, sir. It's on Sharon now.
By
the way,
any
fatality
with
the motherfucking
statement?
Sub-Zero mask on. Fatality. Get him out of here.
Any final statement, Dexter, before I move you to
we can move
Mr. Sharon Bracey? Nope. Okay, so I'm going to bring him up.
It's time to
Friends, 448 people watching. Thank you very much, Twisted Pub, for helping us getting our membership goals. I truly appreciate you, sir. Thank you, Tim. Thank you for the 10 memberships. We have one last goal. Make the Cash App ring, friends. We need $100 and something on the Cash App, $10 at a time. I would truly appreciate it if y'all could make the Cash App ring since Twisted Pub ended the second goal. Let's see if Dex, you actually, Mr. Fantastic sounded very confident that he won that interaction. Okay, let's see if Sharon Bracey can do the same. Go ahead, Dex. What's the point of contention with Mr. Sharon Bracey?
Point of contention is basically where you were talking about child rearing and things like that. My issue in a nutshell is that this gentle parenting thing, in my opinion, from what I've seen through my kids and everything else, is that this generation is cooked from the jump. There's teachers making TikTok posts every day about how these kids can't even read cursive, write in cursive. They don't know what words are. They're not literate. And it's because everything, down to teachers, down to the school system, is just being gentle on kids.
Sharon?
Yeah, I don't think that's the effects of spankings. I think that's the effect of other factors that people just don't want to add into it. Because if you are so-called gentle parenting, you are paying attention to your child and your child's needs. You're communicating with your child. So if you notice that your child cannot read because you are gentle parenting, you understand what your child is going through, you are going to make sure your child reads. Gentle parenting is just paying attention. Gentle parenting doesn't mean that you are slack or lackadaisical with your child. No, you still very affirm with your child. You still very assertive with your child. You still have expectations of your child. And majority of those parents, they get those expectations met because they understand their child, and each child is an individual, and each child is not going to get the same father from me because each child needs something different from me.
Okay. So then, other than the extreme where they were talking about kids being aggressive, where would you say your absolute line is at if it came down to it? Like, set a baseline. Like, if you ran out of every option possible between talking, timeouts, removing things, doing everything that you can do, then would you agree that it's necessary?
No, if the only way I would say you need to put your hands on your kid if your kid is putting their hands on you. If they are trying to physically whoop your ass And we ain't talking about just, a kid just hitting you by accident, then you correct that situation. We talking about a kid that is beating you up, then yeah, you need to go ahead and fight your kid then. But in reality, is never, most parents are not dealing with a kid that is physically trying to harm them. If you are communicating with your child is going to understand, I don't want to be in timeout if you even got to go through timeout. But majority of the time, if you communicate properly enough, your kid's going to cry just from your words and your voice. Most of the time, if you say, hey, you want me to go tell dad, and then dad come in there screaming and say, hey, didn't I tell you, that cat is a possibility that child is going to cry just simply off the power of your voice.
Okay, but the point of that question is that what if you've ran the gambit and you've run out of options?
Yeah, I answered it. So if that kid is whooping your ass, then yeah, you need to get
I'm not even
physical.
talking about being physical. I'm just talking about in the level of being demonstrative, being authoritarian. Like, they don't care about the parents, they don't care about any type of authority figure, they don't care about anything. They just want to live their life, and they're going to do what they do without anything. If you've went through the gambit of talking to them, getting angry, taking their things away, timeouts, whatever other method that you can think of, and you're literally ran out of ideas, you have nowhere else to go, including like you can take their Xbox, run it over with the car, whatever. That's where I'm asking your line needs to, where I'm saying, like, do you think that it would be appropriate at that point?
No. If everything is with words, you need to figure out what is going on with your child and why you cannot get through your child. Your child got something going on mentally. You need to go ahead and figure that out, because maybe you just not equipped as a parent to understand that. If you did everything possible that you are capable of doing, you need to go elsewhere for some help, because you're not a capable parent. If that kid ain't whooping your ass, then you should not be whooping your kid ass.
Okay. I wanted to get your baseline because it seemed like
I raised a bunch of kids. I ain't put my hands on none of them.
I understand and I fully get that. But what I'm saying is that it went to such an extreme that it felt like you had no wiggle room. So I wanted to
I just
clarify
don't believe.
and make sure that was all in there.
Do you believe in physically whooping adults' ass? So if you're not doing something right, you think your wife should slap the ish out of you?
No.
Okay, so that's why I don't believe it with children.
But that's what I'm saying. Beings. It was how everything went down in the conversation. I wanted to clarify and get a better judgment of where your gauge was. So that's why I had contention with what you said. But now that you've fully clarified on what you said, then yeah, I get you.
All right. And by the way, I got a 26-year-old, so I've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, my oldest is 14.
So, I got grandkids now, so I ain't whooping ass.
Shit. I know. So, I can tell you got the thing right there. You got that thing right there.
and don't get twisted. I'm not saying that as a parent, I don't get frustrated. Things is gonna happen because children are children, right?
Oh, yeah.
And what I'm saying, so it's not like I'm saying it as if we don't have complications in raising free things. If I'm attempting to raise human beings that could think on their own and that they don't need me once it's time for them to leave. I want them to be the best human being possible. I don't want them calling me every 10 minutes at 18. No, I want them to be able to go through life by themselves from 18 and up. And so far I've been successful at it.
Okay.
Any more questions, Dexter?
No.
So I guess we wrap it up and we reach to the conclusion of these debates. Once again, friends, thank you very much for all the people that pull up and for all the people that watch the show. It's a good test to get a little toes in the water, and we're going to start to be more constant. Like I said, on Saturday, Team King Riches versus Team Donquisha. We are going to do a battle of the sexes, okay? Saturday at 5 p.m. And next week on Saturday, we are going to have another debate, Roxy versus smell the roses. Okay. I appreciate you, Dexter. Thank you very much for pulling up, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And my apologies on.
You apologizing for what?
For getting heated like that. I usually heated.
No, you're good. You're good. No, this is not. This is not. For these two fellas, this is not. Was nothing. So
it wasn't anything. I don't mind the conversation, but it's just the mask comment, dude. It gets me.
No. You're good. You're good. You're good. Thank you very much for the energy. I appreciate you. And be just like Jazz Noel, friends. And she sent $5. She said, "Great show. We need $100 and something on the Cash App. If there's any hero that is a multimillionaire on the chat, okay, especially you, Anton Daniels, send me $500 right now on the Cash App. Show that you are a real boss." Anton said something. Anton said, "We are trying to." I need to talk with you, Anton. I need to talk with you. I think we're good, friends. Good job, Mr. Fantastic and Sharon. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate y'all. Thank you very much. Even though Sharon called Mr. Fantastic, what did you call him? Sweetheart? And what? What is he?
Yeah, he's a sweetheart. You know what I'm saying? He's a smooth talker.
He's back calling another grown man said that he in real life he's a sweetheart. That's kind of fucked up. But Sharon, tell please, where can people find you? Where can people find you? Where can people find you, Sharon?
Hey, definitely Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. I'm live. Wilder's Vegas Show. We breaking things down. I have a commentary. We having a good time. I stress you out. I make you laugh. I make you sad. I make you happy. And come and join me early in the a.m. I get you through your work day. Appreciate y'all. You can find me on all platforms. Sharon Bracey. You'll find me.
So if you want to be stretched out, go find Sharon in the morning. That's what he said. And Mr. Fantastic, thank you very much for being here once again.
That was a fantastic bar, by the way, Fatty, because you know about comments. That was a fantastic bar.
That's crazy. Where can people find you, Mr. Fantastic? Thank you very much for pulling up.
Yeah, man, Mr. Fantastic 824 on all social media platforms, man. I'll be live mostly on YouTube, but check me out on X also. You know what I'm saying? I'll be putting some shit together over there. But yeah, pretty much here and whatever, bro. And you know, another dub, man. In the book.
Hey, Fantastic. Who was the woman that you said an elderly woman?
No. She was young. She was a young white girl.
You got the number?
Hell no. What the fuck am I gonna get her number for? I got up out of here.
She owes you reparations.
Man, chill out, bro.
This man straight like you jump in a fucking jungle and shit, fighting snakes to get somebody back. But good job, Mr. Fantastic, huh? Good job. Man. Good job, man. I'm glad that you came back. But I appreciate y'all, friends. Thank you very much. Let me kick y'all out of here. I appreciate y'all. And by Monday or Tuesday, I send you some. Okay, I appreciate you, my friends. Thank you very much for being here.
You can kiss your ass goodbye. Sing the song. Yeah. You can kiss your ass goodbye.
And friends, thank you so much for supporting us. We appreciate y'all.